PHL Season 2 is upon us, and with it comes a brand new format designed to be in step with the format of the official DreamHack Major. In this format, Cash Out and Final Round will both be used throughout the entire season, with the most important matches being reserved for 3v3 Final Round in true finals fashion. The regular season plays out over 3 weeks, with playdays on both Wednesdays and Saturday, but this time around, the days go hand in hand. Wednesday playdays will play out like the normal playdays from past seasons, with shuffled groups each week playing 5 cash-out matches and earning points based on placement and kills. But these points will work to sort teams into groups for Saturday. The best 4 teams from Wednesday will be in Group A, the second 4 teams in Group B, with the bottom 4 teams in Group C. This is where the majority of points will be earned. The groups will play a single match of cash-out, then the top 2 play a final round best of 3 for first and second. Bottom 2 playing for third and fourth, the top 2 from Group B play for fifth and sixth, etc. down the line. At the end of league play, the top 8 teams will qualify for their regional championships. Unlike previous seasons, there will be no inter-regional competition. We'll save that for the major. Now let's talk about the championships. Spots 1 through 6 will be locked for champs, but 7th through 10th place will compete in a last chance play-in. The championships are going to be using the same format from day 2 of the major, with 2 stages. Stage 1 will be a series of cash-out matches with final round 3v3 matches to eliminate 4 teams, leaving the top 4. Stage 2 will use the match point system, also known as the heat system used in the major. 4 teams will play cash-out, with the top 2 teams progressing into 2 final round matches, teams earning a point for every final round win. A winner will be crowned when a team reaches 5 final round wins. Welcome to PHL Season 2. We hope you enjoy the ride.
That's 2 from graduating. He's done it! He's finding success in the middle of this furball. Absolute calamity from this.
The winch is going to stall it, and he's done it! He's done it!
Unbelievable from OG. Carries the team. How has Carnifex got away with that? He even gets the second.
Hello and welcome to PHL Season 2. We've made it to the NA Playdays. My name is Rio and I'm joined here by Randomize. How are you doing today, Random?
I'm good, man. I'm just excited. We finally get PHL Season 2 underway. The qualifiers were heated. The majors were, or the closed qualifiers for the majors was heated. I mean, come on, man. Who isn't excited to watch games of finals?
Yeah, it's really amazing that we get all these play days, and they basically lead right up to the major, because we're going to finish, I think, 2 weeks before the major. So if you are ready, we are going to dive directly into the action that you'll see basically leading up to the major. But before we get there, we have 4 teams that are going to be playing in our play day today. So let's take a look at who is going to be starting off in Group A. You want to walk us through these? Randomize.
Yeah, I mean, we have some very notable teams, Space Station Gaming and Nightmare, 2 teams that are going to the majors themselves. And then we have some teams that are looking to take on the Titans, I'll call them for now, Team Kiri and Task Managers. Some very good players overall. As you could see, we also get to see their map picks as we were going to be playing throughout of them. And of course, there's one more map that hasn't been shown, and that map will also be played as well. But, Rio... Some strong suits definitely come in. I would say Team Kiri has shown in past competitions that this is probably a really good map for them to start off with.
Yeah, well, we're actually going to be starting off with Fortune Stadium, which was picked by us.
Yes.
So we're going through 5 maps, but everybody is starting on Fortune Stadium just because I like to put everybody on Fortune Stadium that I can, because, come on, it's the best map. It's where the fortunes really come to play. Is a team going to make it? And the fact that we have 2 teams that qualified for the major playing in this one, it's just going to be exciting, and one that almost made it. So I am really excited for these teams to go at it on cash out. Really, kind of, what are you looking forward to, Randomize?
Honestly, cash out. Just I love the game mode, but what I'm looking forward to is seeing how players have adapted from the close qualifiers, how players have adapted just in general from how they were playing from other events, to how they're going to go into this one for sure. I want to see any adapting strategies, I'm trying to say, as we go into Fortune Stadium.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to look at it. And honestly, these teams are here for a show. And I have seen so many people already in chat talking about Nightmare, so maybe they'll be the ones on top. But here we go. We're diving into it. Fortune Stadium, and I am excited to get started.
Here we go into Fortune Stadium. And we're going to be jumping on board with Team Kiri, the new signed team. Congratulations to them. And Bravado definitely playing it smart right off the bat. Team Kiri playing it a little bit slower. And you can see Task Manager is going to be the ones going head-to-head against them, I believe. Sorry, I'm a little blind at the moment. My feed is a little blurry, so Rio, you take over while I try to figure out.
All right, no worries. Watching his weights, getting some shots off. Looks like Lamp died on a zip line or something mid-air. Don't know what happened there, but that is quite amazing. Getting some shots off, pulling them in. The BFR Titan is in play, something we hadn't seen in the closed qualifiers. Ooh, eliminating Akazu, following it up with an RPG. He's looking for his next shot, getting some good shots off. Can he find that final one? Sadly, it looks like he was able to get away, but the chase is still on. He really wants that kill. Maybe they're turning their attention now towards the cash out. No, now they want to bring it towards, they want to bring him back, bring their whole team back. The task managers are looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, no, smart plays. You definitely want to get your team up. You know there are people around. Hell, even if you're not getting the comms, you can hear it loud and clear as there are guns blazing right around the walls from them. And it looks like we have potentially, I want to say a three-way fight for this cache here at number 2. And it looks like task managers are going to be the ones who are going to get that cache away and move it towards B.
Yeah, it does look like they finally got it out of there, and everybody is still there just fighting it out. Somebody wants to have an ego battle, and it is just going down. Uni brings Viper down in that fight, and Bravado just trying to get out of there, reload his repeater, look for anybody that he can, maybe wait a minute, bring everybody back from his team, and that's exactly what he's doing. But he did get spotted out, so he's in a little bit of a tricky situation. Maybe we should turn our attention towards the cash outs that are going down, because it should be a little more interesting than this. As they start their setup, cash out A is about halfway done. The other side of things about a fourth of the way done.
Oh, look at this. Space Station Gaming, who was kind of hanging out while the 3 teams were fighting over for the other cache, are finally getting challenged by Nightmare. Nightmare is going to be looking to work their way from the bottom, send one player up.
Enemy spotted, down there.
Uni waiting for that moment, waiting for the call to go up to the rope. And it's going to give them a nice wide angle as they're going in for the attack. No, they decide to play one floor down. They don't want to go right into it just yet. And now the move is coming in. We'll see if Space Station Gaming is ready.
Yeah, Nightmare is here. They're all on top of it. Maybe they're ready for the drop, but I'm not sure what's about to happen as they come close to cash out A. They need to make something happen now because we're down to the last third. There's the C4 dropping it down. It looks like it went down 2 floors, so they tried to goo it off just a little bit, find any way to buy themselves a little bit of time, a little bit of space. There's the hold, but they're just raining down hellfire above on top of them, and I'm not sure that Nightmare's going to be able to come out of this.
I mean, it's kind of close match, honestly, between them. 2 players there. Still have a decent amount of health, but they are splitting up a tiny bit. Lasagna is going to look to get the res, and it looks like we do also have Kiri jumping in on the fight, even though the cache has officially gone through.
This is quite an interesting situation. Everybody is here just battling it out, and there is Kiri going down in that fight, and Nightmare still struggling to stay up there. Gremlin being the last person remaining, but he is getting some good shots off. There's some elbows. He gets a trade right at the end. These teams are primed for battle. I don't really know what's going on. This is feeling a little bit more like a death match than anything else that I've seen today.
Hey, I mean, every kill has got some points in there, so
Yeah.
why not? You might as well try to get some work down. And honestly, the best part is you can really start to control the spawns, start to force players away from where you want them. You know, if you eliminate them in one spawn, move a different direction. That may force the team to spawn right back where they were and delay their time moving that cache. Huge play coming out of Wade there, just being able to get the shot off right before he falls down. But it's not going to be too effective right now. All 4 teams are standing normalized. He's going to have to bring Space Station back up.
Absolutely. The vault is about to be tapped by Recon. He's reloading his RPG. Gets a little bit of height. Nobody's really near him just yet. Buys them some time to set up. I bet you they're going to take it on a little bit of a farther cash out, buy themselves a little bit more space as well. But yeah, just poking around. They're looking pretty good. The task managers, nobody's really challenging them just yet. We're going to move over to the other side of things where I think that more action could be coming. I'm not really sure. There we go, and there's a Kazo with the patented Deagles taking a nice little bite out of it. But can he take a bite out of the other teams coming for his cash?
There it is. Just as you were saying, take a bite out. Why not take it? Some chunks out of the health. Looking for Uni. Uni's going to run away. Oh my goodness. The amount of damage on Uni right there. That is the scary part about being light and going up against a heavy. Getting yoinked on in, but still somehow alive for a little bit longer. And Bravado and everyone else is going to be rotating around. So now on board with Lamp. Looking to try to find anyone. Ooh, that did not work out in his plan. Nicely done by Kiri to be spread out around this cash out. One player high, one player on level. They have all angles on that. That's going to force Space Station back. They're not going to be able to get the cash out just yet. They still have about another 30 seconds to make their move.
Yeah, they're going for a steal, but it's going to be a real difficult one. And there is the gravity cube pulling everything up and a little bit out of position. It looks like Kiri is doing a wonderful job of playing the kite game. We've only got a little bit left on this cash out. They have height, they have every advantage here, and it looks like SSG is going to struggle a little bit more as they just can't get over this gravity cube. It's wild to see. There's the pull. Lamb tries to get it on the bounce pad. This is kind of wild.
He's going to get up there?
Going off, and I'm not sure what's going on. Time has definitely run out for them to get the steal, but the battle is still raging on.
I mean, at this point, you might as well get some points out of that one. Oh my goodness, Lamp almost getting that kill. How are they still alive? But Bravado just barely having any health. Kazo just spawned back, and I don't know how he's alive. How did Bravado get away? Excuse me, Bravado get out of that one alive? Or he's dead now, but like he lived for a long time.
No, it was great. We were tracking him for a bit. On the other side of things, Cash Out D starting to take down, taking some shots off. Look at that 93R. He missed his winch. He definitely needed to hit that. It's reverse winch, pulled into a shotgun. Goes for the elbow, but it is not enough to keep him in there. This Cash Out is going to run down.
Oh, that's dangerous.
It's going to go in the hands.
It's going to go in the hands of Nightmare, and as we see, Lasagna gets sniped out in the air. Digcron with a nice shot. And look at that, the cash outs were all tied up. It's really, now Space Station is going to be starting that one, and it looks like we do have Nightmare who's going to try and move that cash out as quickly as they can. Get that into A, and then potentially, you know, split up the party and not have to all panic for Space Station Gaming's cash.
Yeah, look at the cash out totals. Everybody is incredibly close right now. I hate to say it, but it is potentially anybody's game at this moment. Can SSG hold on for the rest of this cash out, or is everybody just going to dive on them, and in the chaos, it's going to change?
Oh, right.
I'm not sure. Explosions going off left and right. Winch Claw pulling him in there, getting some good kills, normalizing Brad, trying to stay on top of it. Can they find the final task manager? I'm not sure.
Wade was able to get out there in time. Unfortunately, the other two task managers kind of fell for a trap, and then Wade fell into another trap, landed in the laps of Nightmare and Uni. And it looks like Nightmare may actually, I think they're going to go for like this big passing play possibly, but unfortunately, they do have Kiri in the way, able to nullify one of them. Uni's able to take one player out, looking to try to take out two, but unfortunately got some backup, so Akazo and Viper are going to be able to stay alive, but there's a potential chance that Nightmare is going to wrap around them. We'll have to see if they're going to move to try to get the kill, or if they're going to try to take Space Station Gaming, maybe get rid of the third party before they have to deal with the big Titan.
Yeah, the time is ticking down there. Uni, the movement mastermind, trying to go up more above, and he just goes directly at them once again. He gets a Casa down. Are you kidding me? But sadly, he goes down in that battle. We are watching this cash out just tick down very slowly. All of the teams converging on it. There's some goo, but there's C4 right in front of his face. Surely he knows that, but everybody's on top of everybody. I don't know what's happening, but I love Rice is trying to grab it, It's falling down now. We're just watching it. It changed hands. No, SSG is still in control, and they have done it.
Oh my. The explosion was just enough to get the box to drop down. I'm not sure if he was killed before he was able to get the steal, or just the drop down made the box go a little bit too far. Either way, very, very close match there, but Space Station Gaming is able to, of course, as expected, be on top.
Yep, they rose to the top in that battle. That was quite an intense one, especially at the last few seconds. I kind of love / hate it when everybody is on top of each other, and I just can't even tell who's shooting who's going to take it right at the last second, and that is just wild. That's perfect little package of the finals right there. But holy cow, I'm talking, and I'm looking at the scoreboard, and yeah, there is one name on top of there, and it's Grad.
Grad with 12 kills, 2 deaths, barely dying there, doing exactly what a light should do. Honestly, if there's a number that's a little bit lower than I expected, it's Uni's kills, only 6 kills, because we watched Uni basically 3v1 teams multiple times, and the tracking on that, man, it's perfect.
Yeah. No, he is one of my favorite players to watch just because he just dashes around like a little mosquito. He knows when to get out of a situation. He knows when to dive in there. I know it sounds like such an insult, and I really don't mean it that way. And maybe I need to find a better way to, categorize that. But yeah, it's truly impressive to watch. But SSG, they're really doing well, and just, really quite a fun way to get things started. And Fortune, like I said, my favorite one of all.
Yeah, no, it was honestly, I didn't pick the map. You said you picked it, and definitely a good map to start on it. I definitely agree on that. That was a lot of, surprisingly, you would think Fortune Stadium tends to actually spread out the teams a little bit more, except usually there's one team that kind of sits in the middle, and that's kind of what happened. But at the same time, there was a lot of times somehow all the teams started to converge. I don't know if it was off-screen wenching that was happening that was forcing the cash outs to be moved a little bit closer, but it always felt like there was a third team that had their eye on both cash outs at all times.
Yeah, no, third teaming is definitely something that makes the finals very unique. So, it's just one of those things. You either love it, you hate it, you think it's part of the game, you think it should be removed. I don't know. I know that there are, solutions people have proposed, but I don't know. I think the third teaming is just kind of part of the game. It makes it interesting. But that's a discussion for another day. And hopefully everybody out there, my mic might be fixed. So sorry about that in the first match. But here we go. Loading into Bernal. What a wonderful map to see these 4 teams get so fun.
And again, this map was picked by Team Kiri, and I do say that I feel Team Kiri, with the options that they probably had, this is still a pretty good map for them. Personally, I like to watch Akazo streams. Always has some entertaining streams playing as a heavy. He's the one player that figured out how to use the goo gun and make it as far as he did in every tournament. They were so close to qualifying for the closed qualifiers and everything like that, and just it's amazing how people say there's metas, and then you have players like Ikazu, unfortunately, as I was complimenting him, getting destroyed, even though he hit the goo gun. Ooh! And Gremlin, are you kidding me? That snap.
Gremlin with the dirty shots. My God, that BFR Titan hits hard. Even after the nerf, people are still running it, and we might see a few more shots. He's looking for that next kill. Get that reload off. There it is. Can he find it? 1 shot, 2 shots. He is on fire with this thing, and I've had several chats with other players and even, my other casters, and really one thing that we noticed is that this is a high-skill weapon, and basically, when you're running with high-skill players, my God, they don't miss. So, you get shots like that. Gremlin now in control of that cash out, but about to move directly into Team Kiri.
Right, literally, as you said that, they went straight into Team Kiri, and as you can see, Gremlin tried to play that one back, tried to actually put the box down on some explosives, but then Team Kiri just went, mine, and ran off with it, somehow still alive, putting pressure down on Gremlin. And Gremlin has to back down, but he's still trying to keep an eye on the players, as it looks like Team Kiri will be the ones to put that catch in.
Absolutely. Go for a winch claw now, pulling it in. He is still getting shots. Gets the shot, follow it with the elbow. Couldn't get another one, sadly. Dashing in there now, Uni trying to get some shots off, but he's pretty low. Going to have to go in biz. Pops him off with it.
It just looks like Kazu is going to be the only one alive on his team over there, but it's switching over to Space Station Gaming. Trying Lamp just looking to try to pop one more shot, and he does. Digron will go down, and Space Station Gaming again sets them off pretty nicely as task managers are going to be taken out of this one. So it's going to be again Kiri and Nightmare fighting across the map. I'm curious if Space Station is going to try to snipe.
Yeah, this will be interesting. This setup now by Lamp, he's just ready to protect this cash out. I don't think anybody's really going to come for it. It's almost done. It's ticking down. They're the task managers. They have respawned, but I don't think that they have enough time, even if they dive directly on it. Trying to take some shots off now. They are ready to stop it. That 93R hits hard, as we said. And on the other side of things, the LH1 is in play by Wade. Can he find his targets?
Oh, well, it looks like Wade is kind of locked onto a target, but could not finish his shots. Just trying to stay alive as his teammates are looking to push up into Space Station Gaming. Space Station Gaming does, in fact, get the cash out, but they are trying to get an elimination, and it looks like it works out for Space Station Gaming, taking out task managers once again. It's getting to the point right now, Rio, where you're going to have to really start considering whether or not it's worth constantly going up against the same team that you spawn next to, or start playing that third-party strat.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of room to get out of there, so I think I agree with you, because I would get out of there. I just would not continue this battle. It seems like it's just not working out for you. Maybe it's a map thing. Maybe you lost a little bit of confidence, got some shaking up going. But oh my god, Lamp! That should not be allowed. That was an incredibly long shot with the BFR Titan. Are we just watching this gun turn into the meta for NA?
I mean, probably. It's the new sniper. One-hand sniper, I guess, because these players are kind of forgetting they're technically holding a revolver in their hand, but they're like, no, look, long range. Oh, and somehow, Lamp almost able to survive, but Wade, with an actual long-range rifle, was able to take him out. Digron does get taken out as Lasagna does find him. So even though Space Station Gaming was eliminated, now Task Managers, who was able to get rid of them, has Nightmare, literally, in their nightmares.
That's a good way of putting it, and Wade just trying to find anybody that he can, and there he goes. He decides to pull off, get his teammates back up. This is probably the smarter way of doing things. One more res and all of the task managers will be up, but they only have just under 3k to their name, just slightly below Team Kiri. It looks like we have 2 strong leaders, but we still have 4 minutes left in this map, so at this point it really can be anybody's as long as they turn things around, at least at the top 2.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the fact that we only have 1 cache going, and it's not even down to the 130 mark yet, the other one still has to get moved, we could potentially start to see what I was talking about earlier, where teams are going to maybe start to rotate, change up things. I mean, right now we're on board with Uni for Nightmare. Task Manager is right nearby. They finally chose a different target to take on, because right now they are looking for a turnaround. They need it, as they are going to go in for that fight. Lasagna almost getting taken out. Uni has a lot of range and being able to spot out where the player's going to be moving to try to keep their teammates alive. And just like that, bang, boom, he's out of the bell tower. And okay, I thought Uni had, height advantage, but never mind. That's right. These are pros. I'm not. That's why I'm here talking, and they're shooting.
Yeah, they just brought him down, and honestly, it's the right move right there, and the cash out immediately changes hands. Gotta love it now, and the goo's going down, and the task managers are trying to get into this battle right now with SSG. They're just right down in the middle of it. Lamp taking 1 shot. There it is. He gets the assist from his teammate Grad, and they're ready to just dive directly in here and get the reverse steal. Wade is the only person remaining, so it's very likely this will go their way. The steal does flip, and it seems like they just have to hold on for about a 4th left of that cash out.
Yeah, and then Space Station Gaming is doing a really good job being able to rotate around as much as they need to. Taking their time with their fights, picking them out really nicely, and it's working out for them as they're currently potentially going to be in the lead for this round. But now, Nightmares getting the steal in, and it's working out really nice for them, while Kiri is also trying to stay alive and keep their cash. It looks like Viper may go down. Lasagna does go down. Uni is also about, is kind of, maybe, no, somehow still alive. Don't know,
Yeah.
but it works.
He had, I think, 2 HP in that. That was a crazy cluster as everybody was diving on it. But right now we have one team, Team Nightmare, sitting pretty with $32,500. Team Kiri, one of the teams that we were saying needs to kind of turn things around, is doing exactly that. They're holding on to this cash. They're about to add another 12K to their total. And at this point, I don't even think anybody can dive on there and get a steal.
Yeah, no, it really worked out for Team Kiri when pretty much there was 3 parties fighting over for the other vault. So it looked like it's going to work out for Team Kiri. Bump them up to P2. Again, this is their map pick, so we're hoping to see that they're going to be able to do some work with Lamp. Speaking of doing some work, bang, grab him, shoot him, take him out, looking for the second one. Can he get it? No, unfortunately gets taken down. Normalize was going to try to get in there to back him up, but unfortunately could not keep Lamp alive, and now he has to run away and look for the res. And now all of Space Station is back up, and we have overtime.
Yes, we do. This cash out has been started, and I think that we're going to see a likely scenario like we saw last time where everybody just comes and converges on it. But I do actually see 2 teams over at the other vault, so they might tap that. They might bring it over here. They do have 35 seconds to do something, but here are all of the task managers. They're trying to go for the steal. Nice little bait, trying to get any information that they can. The healing infuser coming out, bringing them all up. They decided to go for it. They want to go for the team right on top of them. This is a great strategy to clear out anybody on top, but they haven't got anybody down just yet. And it looks like they're taking a lot of damage in this fight.
Nikron just needs to lock in those shots. He's constantly right where he needs to be, but unfortunately cannot finish him out. And just like that, sniped out of the window and taken out. Rice has the last one, gets Dikron up, but will not get him fully up. Dikron more than likely will get eliminated, but not by the team we thought would take him out. Hello, Team Kiri, popping on in, but they don't have the information that task managers had, so that's going to force Team Kiri back off of the cash out. And here we go, it's up, and hello, Nightmare, looking to join in on this fight. It is for the last cash out. This is going to be very important because you really do want to get those extra points and set yourself up nicely early in this match.
Yeah, this is wild. Akaza was trying to go for it in between the rubble. These teams are battling it out. We've only got a few seconds left for anybody to hold this steal. Here is Akaza trying to go for it again. They're healing it back up, but they are chasing down Nightmare. And the rubble is just getting crazier. But all of the task managers are here as well. The steal being attempted by Akaza, but he's the last person remaining. I Love Rice holding it. The dome shield's going down. I think that they have it. They flipped it. They're going to get the steal, and there are 2 teams that go down right in the middle of that. And there we have it. Our 2 top teams, Nightmare and the task managers.
Wow, task managers, not gonna lie, had me sweating for most of that match. It was a little bit rough. They were constantly going up. If I remember correctly, it was like they were trying to take on Space Gaming for half the time. It wasn't working out for them, and then they were like, all right, in the midst of all this chaos, excuse me, pardon me, I'm going to walk right in here and take this cash, thank you. And it worked out really well. You know, that's the one thing. And again, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but Team Kiri, Ikazo was on the cash out. He attempted to grab it over and over again. And the first thing I screamed at was, you still have time. You had 25 seconds. He didn't need to be on that cash out. They could have looked to try to set themselves up a little bit better and be able to steal it. But unfortunately, just the panic set in. You see that number flash in red, and you just think to grab it. And it just did not work out for them as well as Team Kiri would have liked.
Yeah, no, that's a great way of reading it. And honestly, it was just a very chaotic situation at the end, I think, is the best way of putting it. And really just seeing everybody in the rubble, trying to find each other in that as well. And then you have Ikazo just gooing everything up as well, just to make things more difficult. And I thought he had that for about a second, but there was still enough time for it to flip back. So really just wild plays. The task managers came in there at the perfect time, were able to get the flip. And like you said, they were struggling from the very beginning. So it's really exciting to see somebody kind of change it up like that. And basically, that is kind of what we're seeing in these top tier teams, is that they can adapt, especially on the fly. For a while, it felt like teams were adapting based off of kind of the map, but now we're seeing real changes happen pretty much immediately, and I kind of love it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about League play in general is the fact that not only are you learning the maps, but you're learning the behaviors of the other teams. You're starting to figure out the movements and the timing on how players are going to react to certain situations. And it works out really well. And being able to read situations is also very important. It's a little bit harder, of course, when you're dealing with 3 teams at once, unlike other FPSs where you're studying only one team. But the fact that, task managers were still able to read the situation. Notice that players were backing off of each other because they were all kind of fighting for that last cash out. And because everyone kept forcing each other back off, it worked out really well for task managers. Unfortunately, Ikazu, the one who loves to put the goo and get everyone stuck everywhere, got stuck by Rubble instead. So I guess that's Mother Nature calling karma.
Yeah, well, and you could see that he threw down that gravity cube to try and clear out some of the space, maybe, but it was immediately destroyed. They were not having that. But we're going to turn our attention now towards Skyway Stadium. One of the better maps, I think. Other people have a different opinion. It's got some interesting sight lines, but that aside, it is going to be a wonderful map for these 4 teams to battle it out. And honestly, after the shakeup we saw in the last one, I don't know who is going to end up in top at the end of this Playday in Group A.
One of the things I love about Skyway Stadium is the fact that there is never just one way to approach anything, and it's going to be able to create open opportunities for players to kind of adjust. I don't think we're going to have that kind of situation we had in the last map in Bernal because of the fact that there's going to be a lot more room for players to be able to adjust depending on the situation and how many buildings are knocked down.
Yeah, definitely the building's destruction is one of my favorite things in this one, but Akazo is already getting shot in the head. It looks like we're dashing through these players, settling on Uni as he's trying to find anybody in his crosshairs. He does have a little bit of information, aims at that window, and just beams them. He is dealing incredible damage right now, and he finds one, but he can't get the second.
Hard part about team plays is that, you got to play as a team. And even though you play 1v3, it's not going to work out well. Ikazo's still doing a really good job putting down a lot of damage all over. Gets yoinked in, somehow able to take out one of the task manager players that was Dikron, who tried to pull him in. And now Wade looking to try to clean this one up against Ikazo. And, oh no, Ikazo was looking the wrong way, so it worked out perfectly for Wade, and task managers are going to get back up into this one. But Nightmares do spawn early. They're going to be rotating over towards B, and it looks like, if I'm reading this correctly, task managers who barely got out of that by the skin of their teeth are going to have to deal with a team ready for them.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, we don't even have one of the vaults plugged in yet. It's quite interesting. Things are just ticking down. This is going to lead to a wild stagger, but inside of that lamp, trying to get some shots off with the Titan, going in for that winch. He does get a nice little headshot, bringing down Gremlin and getting healed back immediately by Normalize. They are holding control of this, as it looks like the task managers are here as well. Can he find his shots? They're bobbing and weaving behind some goo, but look at that. He immediately gets one, but right in return, they heal him right back up.
Oh, and even though Lamp is currently fighting off the task managers, it looks like Nightmare is coming around on the other side. It's Space Station Gaming. He's going to get pinched by 2 different teams. It's going to be a little tricky for them to get out of this. They were able to take cover inside the building, and it looks like Nightmare and task managers are now fighting each other across the building from each other. I Love Rice hands on the cash out, but as soon as he touches it, the cash out goes flying down to the bottom floor, and we are more than likely going to have a 3-way fight. Maybe Kiri will be able to... Okay, fine. You know what? No, don't plug it in. Just let's join the fun, Team Kiri. Why not? Have an all-out battle royale.
Yeah, this is interesting. As I said before, you've got 2 people from Team Kiri just going over here, farming some kills, potentially. And, yeah, on the other side of things, they're just trying to hold off. SSG is just trying to hold off everybody. Somehow they have held control of this cash out for as long as they have. The time is starting to tick down. Somebody needs to do something. With 3 teams here, this is insane that it isn't flipped at least once.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me. Again, Space Station Gaming playing very patient, playing very well, even though Lamp is down. Grad and Normalize have been doing such a good job rotating around, and just like that, it doesn't even matter that Normalize was looking at the back of Nightmare. He still was playing it smart and getting Lamp up, and that's going to allow the team to kind of play this one off, not allow anyone to get a team wipe on them. And just like that, everybody's starting to run off and switch over to B. Team Kiri, who started it a little bit late, they did have one player sitting back. Now it's really going to be a question if the other two are going to be able to get back and help out at B with Akazo.
Oh, and this is one of my favorite cash outs in the elevator. We've seen some wild plays here. I'm amazed that they've decided to keep it in there, but they don't have a winch claw, so it does make a little sense. But Lasagna setting up, knowing that they're going to try and come back to their cash out, but it seems like he might be in the perfect position. Can he spot anybody on their return? Interestingly enough, they haven't gone for it just yet. Gremlin taking a lot of damage. His teammate unable to keep him healed up in that battle, and it looks like he's trying to just get out of there. Nightmare maybe need to reevaluate this situation.
Oh man, speaking of Nightmare, unfortunately you are no longer the Nightmare. As you see, Lasagna was trying to run away and looked right in the eyes of Space Station Gaming. All the players are currently battling this one out. Team Kiri still somehow being able to work everybody around the map and not allow anyone to take the cash out. It may actually lead to Team Kiri taking this one, even with all the chaos that's happening in these elevators.
Yeah, I mean, if we can sum up anything from what we're seeing so far, it's just chaos. Just chaos. Everything is chaos. And I think that's just going to be how it is. And you know what? That's the finals. So everybody's just burning in this elevator. There's a gateway, but the battle's still going on. There's one person from Kiri trying to stay in there. But, oh, Wade, you've been stuck in that elevator. And it looks like you're going down another floor. I'm not sure what his plan is, but surely he wants to get out of there. Maybe res his teammates back up. And yeah, we're going to change our attention to Gremlin and this cash out C, which is about a fourth of the way done. And teams are making their advance.
Yeah, and we can see Nightmare looking to make their advance. They do have one player just trying to poke and prod. That is Uni, who's looking to play his life right now. One player up high for Space Station Gaming. He's going to be able to give good intel as the push comes in. There it is, the blast onto Gremlin. Still able to stay alive thanks to the heals coming from Lasagna. They're not really able to get a good angle from the bottom here, so they're going to try to work it from the top, and somehow, oh my goodness, almost fell to his deaths. Did manage to grab onto the ledge, but then everyone else still had his eyes on Gremlin, unfortunately, so getting taken out there. And then again, now we're looking like we're going to have a three-way battle. Space Station Gaming is now the ones that are going to be playing the defensive end. Dikron somehow alive in that moment. I did look over and he did have like one sliver of health. Teams slowly getting picked out on, but no one getting fully wiped just yet.
There is a steal being attempted right now by, it seems, the task managers. I think some goo went off and stalled them, but they're getting kills. They're bringing them down. But look at Grad just trying to beam through them. The goo has stopped him, and he was able to get the flip. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, the flip hasn't gone off yet. He's still trying to stall it. And there's the healing infuser, and there it is. They finally got the flip. Grad can only do so much when there's so much goo just being placed everywhere.
Yeah, I know Grad likes to play this with the teleport. Really, he loves to throw it high in the air and then look to use that to get good flanks. But unfortunately, I feel like he threw it a little bit too high and then wasted time getting down there. He wasn't going to get an angle to stop that flip from happening. So it works out for task managers to get that one. And now, again, with a full-on stagger, Team Kiri, once again, on their own with a cash out. And maybe, just maybe, teams will start to result back to their own vaults. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, this is wild. This is feeling like my World Tour matches, to be honest.
Yeah, don't say this matchmaking.
Yeah, and somehow we're playing with ranked rules, but hey, I'm kind of enjoying it because, you know what, the chaos is fun. I love Rice trying to make their advance on the vault. They did get the tap, but it seems like another team is right there on top of them. They were able to even, I think, yoink that and get the steals and get it started right away. Nightmare now in control of Cash Out A. They're getting set up. There is Gremlin with the BFR again, trying to pop anybody that comes in his path. And he did get some good shots off, but has to reload. Not really hitting any shots right now, though. Everybody is dashing around him. His teammates healing him back up, popping back and forth between that little chimney. Forgot the name of it for a second, but he's reloading his RPG.
It's not even going to last there any longer, so don't worry about it, Rio.
Exactly. He blew it up right after that, taking more shots off, and this battle continues.
And he doesn't continue looking to get the flip. Gremlin's going to get in there, try to yoink. I don't think he I'm not sure if he got it because we're currently just in a bunch of smoke at this moment. We have 2 players of Task Managers with barely any health as they're trying to chase down one of the Nightmare players, and somehow Nightmare still stays alive. Task Managers are going to try to rebound from that one. Nightmare currently does have the cash going. We do have the overtime clock still ticking down. I don't think there's going to be enough time to get another cash out going. So it's going to look like it's going to be an all fight out here, a brawl out of all 4 teams going on this one. And the match is still pretty close. Nightmare's currently sitting at the bottom, but maybe, just maybe, it's not going to work out for them because unfortunately now they have Task Managers and Space Station Gaming both fighting for this cash out.
Yeah, this is getting wild. Again, pure chaos. All of the teams are here because why wouldn't they be? We've got about a 4th left on this cash out. Nightmare, the only person remaining is Uni. He needs to stay alive, but sadly he goes down. That is going to make it way more difficult for them to hold control of this. But again, there is so much chaos going on that they just might, but the steal has gone down. SSG was able to get it. They need to hold on for just a little bit longer. Wade trying to get in there, maybe get a little more kills for his teammates, but I don't think that there's any time left. There is the timer ticking away, gas popping off, and now everybody's just getting any kills that they can, padding that score, and there it goes. Somehow, in one of the chaotic ones, Space Station Gaming pulled ahead.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Space Station Gaming, these guys have shown time and time again in over the 2 years how elite this team really can be. Even in the midst of the chaos, they were still able to figure it out, get the timing in. All 3 players were right there, ready for the steal, and it worked out nicely for them. Kills on, surprisingly, pretty spread out evenly. You do have your teams, unfortunately, Kiri struggling a little bit with their kills. You can kind of tell by even just the score. Originally, they were potentially going to lose it on out. But at the same time, it makes sense they didn't have a lot of kills because there was one cash that they were able to get practically free.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. That was such a weird match. We've seen so many matches in the finals, but the staggers, the weird cash outs, the everybody piling onto one. It wasn't 3rd teaming, it was 4th teaming happening, and just I don't know. That was so chaotic that I'm genuinely struggling to break that down from any further than just yeah, staggered cash outs equals chaos, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much 4th partying happening that I feel like production almost thought they were 5th partying at that point, just trying to get in the fight himself. The camera itself was like bashing into the players at points because you just couldn't see what was happening, you know? Like honestly, that is the beauty of the finals, and hopefully sometime in the future we'll probably get some really cool productions where we'll be able to see all 4 angles at the same time and just watch the chaos ensue in every angle possible. That'd be pretty cool if we could do something like that. But yeah, no, that's one of those things. And again, the staggering really put everyone into that kind of position. And what's amazing about this lobby specifically is that sometimes when you stagger, you have a team that can overly dominate. They play like really like Envy. Envy's a team that can handle both, you know, team versus team or stagger, and they still somehow run away with. You saw them; they were speed running through the close qualifiers, you know, like. Yeah. But they're like a team that could do that. Whereas we're in this lobby, no one really can get that kind of grasp, and I'm not really sure if it's causing panic or just everyone. I mean, we have 2 styles. We're seeing teams like Kiri, who plays a little bit more spread out when the chaos starts to ensue, where you have teams like Task Managers, where I feel like they try to stick together, but when one player gets picked off, it falls apart for them, you know? So it's just very interesting the way the teams are moving about in that chaos. We'll have to see as we move on to Monaco, my favorite map. Whether or not, well, I love Monaco. I'm a medium. I love the jump pad, and Monaco is the best map for jump pads. You just fly up all the roofs, so it's so much fun.
Absolutely, but these teams are primed. They've brought down Team Kiri almost immediately. And yeah, just as we were Yapping Gremlin got a 3K. He popped off inside a tiny little room and just deleted all of them. So amazing gameplay. It is turning into the Battle of the 93R here, at least on the NA side. I saw it used a little bit on the EU, but I don't think to this degree. But we're gonna have to find out if more teams continue that. Lamp also running the ball, the little healing infuser ball. It's kind of cool to see because we haven't even seen that used a lot as well. But Brad at the top of these rooftops trying to spot anybody out and does bring 2 of the task managers down quite low. Can they hold on? As every team just seems to be kind of feeling each other out so far.
Yeah, I mean, Monaco is just one of those maps where you can do that. You can. This is one of the reasons why I love this map. This is one of those maps that you can play slightly more spread out than normal because the traversing that you can go around on these maps. There's so many windows, so many houses. You can get up and down on these floors faster than anyone else can. You don't need any special equipment to do it, and that's why this map is just going to show movement is going to be extremely important. I know it's always important in every map, but I feel like this map in particular can really prove how much movement can really play out. Oh, I love Rice. We switch over to him, and just like that, gets eliminated. Wade, unfortunately, is going to be by himself, and it looks like I was about to say all of Nightmare was going to show up, but Lasagna came up 1, 2, 3 to the head, and then he's out of here.
Yeah, and I love seeing the repeater on this map. It feels just like the perfect weapon because you've got so many little sight lines, you've got these rooftops, and you can pop and just dodge and weave, and I just kind of love how it's going on. But Akazo on the other side of things, trying to kite this as long as they can, set up quite a bit of ways from this cash out, building up some goo. They haven't spotted him out just yet, but Space Station Gaming has taken a little bit of damage on the approach over here. They're going at a very methodical way, but there is the cube bringing everything up in the air, and I think Space Station Gaming is just scratching their heads at this moment as they immediately bring it down, which is the play to do, but this is such a slow approach, and Normalize just getting chipped off a little bit more damage as the time ticks on.
Yeah, and speaking of time ticking on, Ikazu was able to play enough defense from afar, but now Space Station Gaming in the midst of the fire, still somehow staying alive there, able to take out Ikazu, and it Normalized. It's just normal, you know, as normal, just trying to steal this one. He's getting it. This is fine. The best team of them all, and Normalized just provided it. And gonna get the heals up really quickly because I believe they have a team on their tail, and it is Kiri coming back in to try to take their cash out back.
Yeah, they need to just hold on for a little bit longer, but there's the smoke, there's the steal being attempted, but Akazo unable to hold on as the goo goes down in front of him, effectively stopping this steal. I don't think that they have enough time. They need to hold on, and yeah, sadly, I have learned after many years of the finals how much of a circle is left, and that was not enough.
You know, I'm generally surprised they don't have like a ticker or something to really show, but I do like the fact that you do have to pay attention to the clock. This is one of this. I haven't really spoken about it publicly, but I have always said that every one of these teams definitely 100% need a coach, and the coach needs to be able to speak during the match. I know some games they don't have coaches speak during the match, but like I feel like in for me, I come from the world of Halo. The coaches are speaking. They're chatting the entire time. This is one of these kind of games where it could really help.
What just happened? Hold on. Somehow the task manager just came in there. Nobody intercepted them. Nobody stopped them. They just popped on in there, got the steal, and yeah, what?
Yeah, no. Hello? Task managers 2 times in a row? I'm thinking I'm starting to understand why their names are working as they are, because they are effectively turning on task manager for everybody else and, you know, ending finals apparently for everybody else because no one even noticed that they took the cash out. Okay, sure, why not?
Yep, all right, and now we're going to watch them as they try and hold on the side of this building, SSG, all grouped up, waiting for something, maybe waiting for any information, waiting for somebody to go to the top of that roof of this Monaco building, but I am just not sure really what their strategy is. We see here a lot of pings going off, but a lot is going on, especially on the other side of things on Cash Out D. Looks like a lot of people just went down. They're trying to hold on, and Uni taking a lot of damage on the other side. Trying to stay alive, little Lasagna has gone down as well.
Yeah, no, Uni did a good job being able to stay alive there. And Kazu is on a box? Wait a minute.
He's
How did
on
he-
the elevated platform.
Oh, okay. He's on the elevator platform. I saw the pole, and I thought he was just somehow find his way on top of the box and made a little goof for himself up there. But hey, you know what? He's got protection and he's got great positioning because now it's making it very hard for Nightmare to find their way in. They're able to get the box down. None of the players somehow notice Gremlin coming in, sliding on in. I mean, come on. He's one of the biggest guys there, and he's still being able to find his way in.
Yeah, this is interesting, and if anybody, I would definitely try and bring down Gremlin. And look at that! He fell right into Akazo's trap. They have kited this, but have they bought themselves enough time? I don't think so. I think that they went down, and there's going to be plenty of time for them to get the flip. And oh, it's so sad when that was such a satisfying kill, especially with a mine, something we don't see a ton in PHL. So good kill, but unfortunately not enough to hold on to the cash, as there it goes. It has gone all of the way towards a Nightmare, which had quite a good turnaround from the last match.
Yeah, I mean, remember what I said earlier? There's always seems to be one team that benefits the most from the chaos.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting some chaos. We're not getting a lot of it, and it's working out in Nightmare's favor. They've been able to kind of balance out how much they're moving back and forth between the vaults and the cash outs, and it's working out really nicely for them. As now it looks like we do have Space Station Gaming taking on Kiri. They're backing out. They're looking to try and grab this ball, but just like I say that, Normalize gets taken down. Lamp as well gets taken down as well. Viper doing a really good job forcing Space Station Gaming out of there. Akazo, I believe, is going to be trying to chase down the last player, but it's Grad who finds him anyway. Still has two players on Kiri to take on, but Grad has, I was going to say, has been able to figure his way out of these before, but not this time.
Oh man, those shots from the 93R popping off from Viper. Very clean shots indeed. Moving over is Uni, the master of movement himself, trying to find a little bit of a cheeky angle. He does find I Love Rice. That's a great shot and really can show you what a nice little light can do on the ARN. Going in and out of buildings now, he needs to bring his team a little bit closer to steal this out of the hands of the task managers.
I think Uni was trying to drop down a level, and Dicron said, no, come here, and pulled them right back, forced them back in, and another one goes down. Lasagna is taken out, so that's going to leave Gremlin alone right now. Gremlin is more than likely going to probably play it slow, wait for the coins to happen. Or not, Gremlin is going to get chased down by everyone. Tried to see if he put some damage down. Didn't work out at all, so Task Managers is going to be able to hold on to B, maybe potentially get this one as they were able to take out Viper. I thought Kiri was going to rotate or stay back, but for some reason Viper
what was Viper doing?
I don't know, because now Space Station is making a move.
Yeah, oh man, this is a real just mess up of a team play. They need to stay together. They need to make these commitments. What was happening? I'm not sure, as Normalize has found his way in here. He's struggling with the goo, but he has found the C4. Gonna blow that up and the rest of that goo structure, but it does trigger that mine, so it's gonna make things a little more difficult. And there's Akazo's gravity cube, throwing it in there to cause a little bit more chaos. Cash Out A lifted all the way to the moon, basically. It's one of my favorite gadgets. I just don't see enough people use it, so I am quite enjoying it. But Normalize getting some heals off. They're trying to go for this steal. They have got plenty of time, but it looks like multiple teams are here, and Nightmare wants a piece of the action.
I was just about to say, Ikazu lifted it up to the heavens for Nightmare to take it, but it didn't work out in their favor. Lasagna is getting picked back up. We are kind of getting trades back and forth. No one officially eliminated just yet. Normalize barely staying alive, and unfortunately for Normalize, like, they were the ones trying to, I would say Space Station was the one trying to fight for this one. And Ikazu trying to build up that defense once again, forcing himself into a corner and cocoon himself in, while Viper is probably going to be the one that runs around and do all the messy work, and that's going to be it. That's going to be able to put the players in a very interesting position, because Space Station Gaming was in 4th place that round.
Yeah, the point totals are going to be very interesting to see at the end of Group A. But we have one more map left, and yeah, I don't know how this is going to mix out, because Task Managers just took it in a very convincing manner. They really were doing well that map. It seems like maybe that is kind of their top map. Yeah, that was really quite exciting to see. I'm curious to see the scoreboard if anybody really popped off. No, this has been a very close group as well. Most people are getting relatively around the same kills. It's not been anybody really popping off except for Grad a couple of times, and this is the map that he just didn't do that.
Yeah, no, it really felt like Space Station Gaming was they. I mean, we saw them earlier, right? They were sitting out on Church, and at one point they were just sitting on the ledge of the window, but
Yeah.
it wasn't even their cash out, and that was around the same time that task managers just walked on in, took the cash out, and walked back out like nothing happened. So it was just one of those things where I don't know if I want to challenge their calls and say that they made some sloppy calls or something like that, but it feels like Space Station Gaming put themselves in their own awkward position, and everyone else was able to benefit off of it. Not sure.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe just hesitation, maybe a weird call, somebody out of position. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, maybe it's just the map. We have one more to kind of figure things out, but this has been quite a unique group so far, and we're going into, I believe it's this Horizon for the very last map. So it's going to be quite a mix up as well, because if, for those of you out there that don't know, Sis Horizon is one of the more competitive maps out there, if not the most competitive. So it's going to be the perfect battlefield for these teams. And yeah, I don't even want to speculate who's going to be on top at the end of this group, because I think it's kind of close with how much mix up has happened.
Yeah, I mean, Space Station Gaming was able to take two maps, but the fact that they were able to take two maps and then fall down to fourth, not even like maybe hang on to second, slightly fall down to third through the last cash out, but no, just to fall down fourth, it just comes to show that anything could happen in this match right now. There's no fully dominating team, I feel like. You know, we did see Nightmare play really well on Monaco, but on Sis Horizons, where things are a little bit more leveled out, it could be a completely different game style for everybody. It's going to come down to whether or not these teams. I mean, it may benefit, honestly, for Team Kiri because Ikazo really likes to cocoon everything in. And this feels like one of those maps that's going to allow you to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect map for Ikazo, and they have made a few adjustments recently to make some of the areas that were a little bit too exposed a little bit better. So it was fun to watch a few days ago. It'll be even more fun to watch these teams really get at it, because I think that it has fixed a little bit of the pain points, I want to say, of this map, and I think made things a little bit more competitive, we should say. But immediately, Viper getting some shots taken out of him, and it looks like Lasagna just going down by Wade, possibly on the other side of the map. Vault 2 has been tapped, but I'm sure that they are just running away, trying to find a little bit of space and get the first kill.
Twice just falls down in front of almost the entire Kiri team, somehow being able to run out of there and stay alive. But now what was originally probably going to be their vault is not working out for them, and just like that, it looks like Kiri was able to get out of there with it, but it looks like they may potentially have company.
Yeah, company indeed. They do get out of there, but they take a lot of damage on the retreat. 93R popping off from Grad. Can he find anybody? He doesn't know that somebody's right in front of him. He's getting some shots off, but he's going to get shot from behind. Exactly what I was afraid of. Viper bringing him down. That's a good setup by Team Kiri. Good little positioning, and now they're going straight for the steal.
I'll show my age with this
they have
quote
the guy.
and probably say that Viper was sitting there with a famous quote of, "I am very sneaky, son." And we'll see how many people actually know that quote. And if you do, you have gray hair like me. But Lamp, even my production is like, yep. Lamp is trying to snipe from across. See if he can get any picks off right now. Not too much movement coming out of Space Station Gaming. Lamp is looking to potentially be the first one. He is aware, and great aware coming from him, knowing that one of the Kiri players is spread up a little bit apart. And this is something that Kiri does a lot. Viper likes to run off, get in weird positions, and really just catch people off surprise, and then rely on Ikazo and Bravado to really do a lot more defense on the more inside approach of everything. Lamp almost getting taken out from that shot as well, and it looks like they're going to potentially go for it, but as expected, Ikazo will detonate, and now the cash out all the way to the bottom floor, and both players from Kiri just staring at that cash out, while Viper is just being a complete nuisance, somehow able to get alive, stay alive, and get the heck out of there.
Yeah, I think Viper has basically created them a little bit of a stall, but now it seems that they've gooted off and they're gonna get the steal. They held on to it perfectly, so Team Kiri just didn't dive on it in time. This is gonna make things extremely difficult for them to flip it right back. Time is starting to tick down. You see their approach. They're trying to get some kills as well. The goo is blocking a lot of damage, but a charge and slam just came off and brought him off of it. But I think that they might have enough time if they hold on to it. Bravado holding it for dear life as the goo burns around him and does get the flip. That is heartbreaking after watching that charge and slam kill just stop everybody. But boy, the timing did not work in their favor.
It worked out for Kiri, though. Team Kiri, a little bit shaky on that one, but in the end of the day, Space Station Gaming getting a little bit slipped up, a little bit more spread out from each other, and Team Kiri able to take advantage of that one. Again, it's one of those things where players that are a little bit more structured, dealing with players like Viper, who runs around thinking he's Spider-Man, sticking to every wall and dashing around like crazy, he's going to make it a little bit harder for those structured teams. Nicely played, using the goo and the launch pad, send the team on over, and it looks like they're going to be bringing this over to C, but as they're trying to do that, Team Kiri is ready to intercept, and so much damage is happening to Uni. Uni using the nullifier, get him out of there for just a little bit, but unfortunately, even though Uni rotated to the left, he's about to lose his teammate. Lasagna gets taken down by Vibrato.
Yeah, that was
sorry. I'm a musician. I say vibrato every time. I apologize.
Oh, the action is still going off as everybody wants to grab a hold of this vault. Jumping up on top of the balloon, he goes through the gateway, and it looks like they finally got enough time to get out of there. They're going to get this cash out started, putting an APS turret down, immediately gooing it off. You see the mines as well. This is a really cool setup, and I think it's going to go in their favor, but Wade, on the other side of things, dashing into cash out D, finding some shots off in the stairwell, now throwing gateway to bring himself and potentially his team with him, but has to dive out of there. Got a nice shot with the LH1, but took a lot on return. It seems like they're ready for their next approach.
Yes, I think Wade was thinking he would be able to catch Space Station off guard, but instead ran straight head forward into Space Station. Somehow got out of there just in time. But now, Rice and the rest of her team looking to try to make a move onto Space Station's cash out, and just like that, their team is just getting taken apart one by one. But Rice still able to get her teammate back up, and again, Space Station just in every angle. Every time they go to rotate, Space Station is already there.
Yeah, that's a perfect observation because they just seem to stop the poke and the prod that's happening from these teams. But here comes the DNAT, dropping it down 2 floors. This will cause some panic. They're throwing some goo as well, but there is C4 still on it, blinking away. They might have bought themselves enough time. There's the dome shield, but there's the charge and slam, doing it again, getting another kill. These teams are struggling to get the steal off. Wade goes down in that battle. Drycon, the last person remaining in that, and there he goes as well. SSG have done a perfect job of holding on to this. We're going to turn our attention to the last third of cash out C, as it is attempted to being stealed right now by Nightmare. They're diving directly in there.
Yeah, Viper last one alive though. He's going to have to just play for his team. Just go on the ground, man. Jeez. Wasting time trying to get his teammate up and try to balance the trophy, and ends up not working out for him at all. So now they're gonna have to play from the back end, and of course, why not Space Station Gaming try to come in and get a sneaky little steal right at the end there. Doesn't work out for him, but Nightmare, Uni is the last one to be alive and has to get into a safe space and wait for his teammates to spawn. Both of them are going to be using the coin to get back into this one, so they're going to be a little bit more spread out. Maybe, just maybe, Uni can look to do some damage as Viper, again, spread out just a little bit. No, never mind, he has his teammates right behind him. But because of that, okay, just gave up. I don't know, maybe Task Manager popped up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but he definitely just kind of stopped moving, and it looks like maybe he disconnected. I don't know. But we're going to continue this battle because we got 2 minutes left. And I guess he's just out of coins. And looks like he's back in it. They did get him rezzed up. Lasagna using the FAMAS, something we really haven't seen so far today. He's now trying to peek and prod any opening that he can. Goes for the bounce pad, buying himself some space. They're not going directly for this cash out, or for this vault.
No,
It's a little surprising.
No, it's smart. They're going to go for the rotate, especially because they're moving towards the correct cash out. The one where more than likely is going to be where this vault is going to go. Normalize has it in hand, but at this point has to try to make a decision whether or not they're going to look to double it up or rush this one over. But it's going to be difficult because they have Nightmare and Kiri all on top. You hear the ping to go towards A. It might be worth rotating. We're not really sure yet. Nope, I think they're going to still try to stick this one in. They have time, but they have both part of Team Kiri and the rest of Nightmare all on top of them.
Yeah, and this is one of the most difficult situations to really go into. You want to get to that cash out, but it is just so difficult when at least one team is set up, not to say just two. So it's even more wild, but they got it. They got it somehow, but can they hold it? That's going to be the real question, as it looks like a steal is already being attempted. There is the APS turret. There's the goo going down, building themselves a little bit of a fortress. Nobody can get in there. He's also throwing the gravity cube by himself, a little bit more space, and he gets the hell out of there.
You know what's really funny is originally I was going to say just for a moment is Task Manager is about to walk away again with free money, but it finally looks like Nightmare is going to rotate over there. So we do have two different teams fighting out, at least for now. We do have this B cash out put in a little bit late, so I won't be surprised if the other two teams are going to rotate over as soon as that one go in. It looks like, though, Task Managers was eliminated, so they might be able to, they might lose that one. And speaking of losing that, another life going down, and the teabags coming on in.
Only the best in the finals, but we'll talk about that later. Uni getting some height for himself. His team's looking good. They're going to get that cash, add it to their 33K they already have. So Nightmare doing quite good. Seeing if Uni can add a little bit more kills, a few more kills to his scoreboard before this ends. Red barrel in hand, trying to find anybody he can. There he goes. Finds a little bit of an opening, doesn't go for it, has to dash, get a little bit more height for himself. He hasn't found anybody just yet, but he is ready. There it goes, brings one of them down very low. A lamp goes down from the assistance of his teammates. They're getting a steal off. Can they do it? They're holding it on. Bravado was able to get it. Healed up by the infuser from his teammates, and they get the steal in the last few seconds. There you have it. Nightmare taking it with a very convincing lead, and then Kiri coming in at second. What a great way to wrap up Group A.
I really wanted to sing the song that has Nightmare as a quote, but I also am not trying to DMCA this stream, so I'm not going to say it. But nicely done out of that last moments there. And wow, I mean, Nightmare, just that is the Nightmare I'm expecting to see a lot more.
Yeah.
They play that really well. I mean, usually your light player is your slayer, we'll call him, but Uni actually just did a lot of damage, and it just allowed the other two to do more of the pickups. Uni was doing what I expected as a player, using the M11 and just dashing around, putting all this damage out on everyone, and the other two cleaned it up nicely, and it worked out for them pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, no, it's wild when I do focus on Uni because he is such a pivotal player, but now it's Gremlin's game. He got 9 kills in that last one, and it is just amazing to see. And I think that he even switched it up a little bit. Not sure if he was running the BFR in the last one, so it's quite cool to see because he is popping off. He's really finding his role. And, you know, if you get Uni and Gremlin together, it's turning into a force to reckon with. So Nightmare played that perfectly well in the Group A. What a wild matchup we had in all of the matches. They went from like insane to kind of leveling off towards the end. I think that they were like, we're gonna throw everything we have, and then it's like, okay, let's play a little bit more of a normal cash out session. So yeah, I don't really know how to sum up the rest of them, but do you have any final thoughts about Group A before we throw it to a break?
I mean, I'm just genuinely curious if we're going to be seeing that for the other two groups for sure, because if that was just Group A and we had that mashup happening, imagine what's going to happen in the next few groups. You're going to have to stick around and find out for that one for sure, Rio.
Absolutely. And we're going to throw it to a quick break. But before we do, we want to give a huge shout out to one of our sponsors, Crash, the Via PR Chief Officer, and his wonderful support of PHL. So thank you, Crash, for being a pivotal sponsor for us here. But with that, guys, we're going to take it to a quick break. And when we come back, we will be getting started with Group B. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to PHL Season 2 Playday 1 on the NA side of things. My name is Rio and I am joined by Randomize here. How you doing so far, Randomize?
I just brewed up another thing of coffee because if that's the
Oh.
kind of action we're going to be dealing with, I need more coffee because chaos ensued.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect way of putting it because the last group was just absolute chaos, and I'm a little curious, as you were saying before we go to break, if we're going to get that again. So before we dive into it, we are going to be seeing the Pioneers, Ape Aura, Luxury, and the Fire Strays all battle it out. We're going to get started on Fortune Stadium and then move through these fine maps that they have selected at the bottom. Luxury, I've never seen that logo before. That's quite amazing. And sorry, just completely took me out of what I was doing and just kind of like I have to stare back.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah,
I mean,
those
it's a
are our
stare down,
teams.
man.
Those are our maps. Yeah, it's a stare down.
Yeah, it's a good logo to have because that's probably the look they're all going to give when they wipe a team. So
Yeah. Well, and you know, it's up there with the Plubers from Saturday. If you missed that, you don't know what I'm talking about. Go watch the Open qualifiers for this season. But we're not here to yap about that. We're here to yap about these four wonderful teams battling it out in Fortune Stadium. Nice little drip from a lot of these teams. We've got some sponsored teams. We've got 2 teams in here that'll be in the major.
yeah, again, the Titans, I like to call them the ones that are currently in the major, and I tend to call them that. And speaking of the Titans, the first vault is going to be in the hands for Pioneers over at number 2. And they have Ape Aura that's going to be fighting them from across. Currently not really in a position to do so much damage, so it looks like they're going to switch up to the strategy of trying to cut them off. BMO getting a little bit bean dough on himself, unfortunately, as he has to back down from that one. And now Pioneers are going to be looking to move the cash over.
Yeah, this vault is not my favorite. It's such a weird position, and you basically have to kind of gateway. But what is this? Everybody wants to be here. Cash out A. This is one of the strongest, also known as the hospital cash out. They're going to get the plug, and Llama and the rest of the Pioneers are going to have plenty of time to set up. I'm curious if anybody wants to go directly for it, but we're moving things around. I'm going to go for the fight over Vault 1. Diving in! They're just deleting the Fire Strays. What just happened? That was one of the cleanest cleanups I've seen in a while. BMO popping off with the AK.
I mean, they just lined up for him, and he just did exactly what his name was and took him out.
Yeah.
And just like that, not only did it work out for them, but they were able to get rid of the team that got rid of the other team, and now they're able to take the cash and throw it into the other cash out. So even though it's not really the stronger cash out, they do decide to not try to double this one up into hospital. It can be very difficult to do any work. You only got 2 ways to go into the hospital before you can make any more options. So good play on them.
All right, and Aguilar and his teammates trying to go over. He did switch over to the healing infuser, bringing them up. We see that the bounce pad in the middle has been gooed off. That does buy them a little bit more space, but here are the Pioneers dropping in there. Llama trying to find a fight, but instead takes a lot of damage for himself. Can he stay in this? Brendy bringing one down, Llama bringing one down, the other one. No, he did that intentionally. He definitely dashed off. He wanted to go for the reset. And honestly, why would you attack the Pioneers on Hospital? They had that set up. They had all the time in the world. We're going to turn our attention to Cash Out B. That is about halfway done, and looks like the Fire Strays bringing the action.
Yeah, Fire Strays looking to put on a lot of pressure. Nicely positioned by Ape Aura, though, being able to stay inside the building and just watch any players that are going to be coming in. They're a little bit spread out right now, looking like it's kind of a mix-up of 1v1s, a little bit beta switches coming out. But everyone's starting to work this one out. T-Mail is able to get a nice pick up there, and the rest of his team is able to clean up Ape Aura. And now, Cash Out B looking to be in the hands of Fire Strays.
You know, this is a really heavy-hitting match, as in, like, these teams are getting wiped together very quickly, and I just haven't seen who's on top yet. This is a real brawl so far, but now Aguilera trying to bring the rest of his teammates in. This cash out is ticking down. They got about a third left. They are in the building, but they haven't spotted everybody out from the fire sprays. There they go, trying to bring Varian down, but T-Mills bringing his teammates back into the action. Can he stop it? Looks like Slothy coined in, but he's not going to get there in time. This is going to flip, and Luxury are going to take it from here.
It's one of the hard calls, you know. You coin in, you get into a little bit of a panic because you know they're going to steal it. So you just rush in, bum rush. Fortunately, you're not a heavy, and you don't have tackle, so you know it's not going to work out in your favor. Speaking of, a heavy getting taken down. Brendy able to take out two. But the turnaround coming out, and now the switch up is going to happen as Pioneers is going to be taken out from this one. Apora is looking to get their team back up and then maybe start to move the vault.
Yeah, Vault 4 has been tapped by Varian. He's got the gateway going through it. They're ready to grab this as soon as it pops off, and he is just making it look easy as he climbs up that stairwell. And he's just kind of waiting for his teammates now. And we're going to change positions, go to BMO. Again, rocking that AKM with that ruby skin. Really sexy, gotta say it. Yeah, it's not one you see very often, but boy, does that look good.
I mean, they stare at it. All of them stare at it, but we get the luxury once in a while again to look at it.
Brendy rocking the repeater, trying to find anybody in his crosshairs. Not anybody just yet. Doing a nice little mediums job, bringing his teammate back up to health as they start their approach to cash out.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the approach, Aguilar looking like he's a little bit by himself for D. Now has to back up towards his teammates. And whoa, just off screen, Apora completely getting destroyed by fire strays. Again, like you said, the whole team gets dropped together. It's incredible how that ends up happening. Oh, and it looks like Pioneers looking to try to get the steal, getting dropped down the first time, almost getting the RPG off on the player, but Llama was not able to connect. So now Llama on pursuit, trying to get rid of the defenders, able to tag one, looking to try and finish the last one. All three players. Llama gets yoinked on and is going to be able to eliminate Byron. Byron somehow still alive, moving pretty fast for a heavy, I'm not gonna lie. Still, unfortunately though, does not continue running and gets caught off guard. And now Aguilar, last one alive. The light player, but it's gonna be a little difficult for him to take on 3 Pioneers.
Yeah, you saw that two of them coined in, I believe, and they're going to bring Brian back into this real fast. We're going to turn our attention where it looks like the Fire Strays are struggling to try and kite this as long as possible because all of Apora is here. There is the goo, trying to find any opening that they can. But he's just trying to struggle. Everybody's just dashing in and out of this building, and there goes 1, 2, and 3 of the Aporas.
Yeah, it felt like Aporas was kind of lost there, and of course Luxury comes running in and looking to do some damage onto everyone. They were not able to get the steal like they were trying to because they are currently dealing with so many players, somehow still able to get him out, but it doesn't work out. Fire Stray is still able to eliminate everybody and be able to get that cash.
Yeah, Varian is insane with that 93R. Really great aim, knows how to pop him off, and really saved his teammates right there. They are sitting pretty in second with 23K, and the Pioneers just a little bit ahead of them at 25, almost 26,000. They're trying to set up. They've got a good position as well. They do have 2 minutes. Not really going for any vault just yet because it looks like Apora have tapped the vault 5 on the other side of the map.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start to play a little bit more in the defensive. Okay, never mind, Llama. All right, you know what? Why do I speak? Why do I even try to cast? I was going to say maybe play in the defensive end, but Llama found a wide open gap there, able to steal, yoink the vault, stick it in, even though they're in first place. Why not dominate?
That was such a good yoink. It just literally came out of there. I don't think that they were expecting it all, and I think that they're still struggling to figure out what just happened as the
Where'd it
cash
go?
out just got started. They're winching it out there, putting it in a more open position, and look at their positioning as well. All of the Pioneers set up just a little bit staggered, a little bit away from each other, but they are ready to dive on this at a moment's notice, and a moment's notice is what they're getting right now. Here's the dive. They're trying to go for it, but all of Ape Aura is here. There's the dome shields, but they haven't gone for the steal just yet. Nobody's died in this battle, but there goes BMO getting the receiving end of spawns. Llama getting a nice little winch, but unable to follow it up with the shots that he needs. There's one shot, and following it up, he does. He gets that kill, getting the reload right now. He's trying to spot out the last remaining person from Ape Aura, and Brindy brings him down.
Yeah, no, it ended up working out. Llama a little bit shaky in that fight, but good teamwork by the rest of his team. As we switch on over, we see Byron able to take out one, and all of Luxury looking to make their move in as Firestray are just trying to recover. This is going to be a little bit difficult for them, as I say that Slothy, last one alive and pretty far away, going to probably wait for his teammates to make an official push in. Tried to use the red barrel, but the shield got up in time to block the explosions. So now it's going to go into the hands of Luxury, and they are going to be playing on the defensive end. As Slothy now does spot one. He looks for Byron, gets the yoink. He's able to pull him in, take one out, but he's starting to get shot by the other players. Going to see if he can chase him down, going for the hunt. Nope, switches up into defense. Good play by the Heavy to be the one to do this, as the medium players are going to be the one that has to get out of there. S2 is going to probably bring his team back up and go for one more push.
Yeah, this is going to get tense. We got 25 seconds left. Somebody needs to get on the steal right now. Varian just being deleted in there, but the Firestray is still holding on to this cash. They have about 15 seconds left. They need to make something happen if they want to pull this out of their hands, but the kills are coming off, and the Firestrays just bring down all of Luxury in a very convincing manner.
Hey, remember when I said Pioneers were going to plug that one in and dominate the scene? Yeah, Firestray is just coming out of nowhere and just deleting people left and right. Every time I looked up, it was just a bunch of Firestray players eliminating an entire squad. Nicely played by them.
Absolutely, and really bringing out 50K in cash as well is a testament for what we're going to see in the remaining matches. Boy, if I am the rest of these teams in here, I am a little bit afraid of Firestrays. I know it's cash out, and I know that anything can happen, and everything has happened so far, but the bottom three looking like they kind of struggled. Not necessarily even in kills. It just turned out to be a cash game in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually what you want to do is play for the cash, but, you know, sometimes these players forget and go on a full-on brawl, you know, team slayer match going on. But, you know, that ironically was a little bit more structured. There wasn't as much third party happening.
Yeah.
A lot of team versus teams, and it works out pretty well. I mean, Firestrays took advantage of any chance that they could. Anytime that they had to take on a team, they came in a little bit late and able to get a quick wipe. Picking players off one by one, that's one of the biggest plays you can do, especially at this level. You know, if you've got an entire team with their barrels pointing right at you, you better make sure your team is right behind them, and it doesn't seem to work out for anyone else but Firestray.
Yeah, and I'm really kind of enjoying this group so far because they seem kind of what you tapped on was that they seem more standard. This seems a little more regulated or whatever you want to call this. It just seems more, like you would expect. So maybe this will be a little more uniform, but we're also noticing as well that they are dying together as teammates, as groups, which I think is really important because it just kind of sets the flow of the match that we're going to be seeing, and it's just really cool to see. But I think we're loading into the match there. I think I saw a little bit of a hint. The teams were about to go off.
Got a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing
There it
on
is.
this horizon. There we are, as we do have the maps coming up here. Now, again, this is probably one of the most competitive maps, as you mentioned in the last match. If the players play exactly how they played in the last one, we're probably going to see a lot more structure going on, a lot more team versus team. But thankfully, to all those nice little jump pads, we can get these teams to move around a little bit faster. So I'm very curious if anyone is going to make a change moving into map number 2. And potentially look to maybe do more third parties because of the fact that Firestray just needed to get the eliminations that they need. They needed to get the team wipes at the right time, and that's exactly what they did every time. So this is a good opportunity for another team to adjust to that and go for those third parties.
Yeah, it's all about the adjustments and seeing who can adapt and who falls by the wayside. Watching now is S2 getting some good healing off on his teammates. All of Luxury is here, but it seems on the other side of it, the Pioneers are very much set up and ready to control this vault, but that repeater is out. It's looking for a victim. Didn't find anybody. Brought Brindy down quite a lot. That repeater can be quite difficult at close range, so you see the distance that he's trying to keep here. Throwing some goo as well, and a bounce pad. Getting some height is a great option, but sadly, when you go on the crosshairs of Brendy, you better be ready, because it seems like the last person of Luxury is being chased down. He does get one kill, but sadly unable to get a second as he gets elbowed by Spawns.
Yeah, that's the one problem about these bolt style guns is you gotta land your shots, and even when all the chaos is happening, you miss even one shot, it's gonna be very difficult for you to do any work for your team. So now we're jumping on forward with BMO, looking to move in with his team, but unfortunately, as they are trying to focus on one player, BMO gets a shot from another player. It works out really well for Pioneers to be able to focus on the players they needed to focus on in the midst of the battle. So Pioneers still going to be holding on to that cash, and now it's going to be Fire Strays and Luxury most likely. Oh, no, they're going to be rotating on over. We're going to see Luxury looking to potentially rotate over and take on the Pioneers.
Yeah, they are rotating indeed. Aguilar trying to find somebody in that 93R sights. But look at the way that the Pioneers are setting up. They immediately regroup. They get a little bit closer to each other. They know that this is the way that they have to play. I am loving their positioning because this is the way that you play with a team. I wish that all of my teammates in World Tour could just watch what's happening right now, because this is the way that you want to do it.
Yeah, why are you talking to me like that, man? I get it. Sorry. All right?
Yeah, we have played some together. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, dang. Anyway, that's why we sit here and we work as a team in the production booth, because we work a lot better here while these guys are all out there. We see Llama up in the air. We see everyone up in the air. It's looking like a game of skeet, but it's not working out for anyone, honestly, from Luxury. I thought the players jumping up in the air was just going to be free shots, but no, Pioneers still walking away. Barely any damages, a couple bruises here and there, and it's Luxury that's still struggling. They have to get SU back up before they can make the final push. They're running out of time. They got less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, time is ticking down, and again, the positioning is perfect. They've got every angle, and they are just stopping Luxury from any approach, and this is a perfect kite game. They've decided that, now we don't want to stay there. We want to bring the action, and that's what they're doing. Healing Brindy back up. Spawns getting one pick, but he's trashing over towards the cash out, stops the steal in motion, brings him down. There's the second kill as well. He is just popping off. The Pioneers looking like a well-oiled machine so far.
Man, again, just awareness is such an amazing moment when Spawns notice one of the players disappears in the middle of that fight and goes straight to the cash out. You saw him rotating and moving over just in time to stop the steal and then pick off the last player jumping at him. So Spawns right now, I believe, is the kill leader, just from pretty much almost... I want to say virtually manhandling the rest of the other team.
Virtually manhandling. All right, that's a phrase I never thought I'd say, but we're going to roll with it. As the virtual manhandling continues, they have tapped vault number 4, Udraconi, trying to find any information that he can. He is right on top of them. Surely he hears them, but I bet they hear his approach as well. Doesn't know that Llama is right around that corner, ready to just deal some damage in his face, but he goes around them, and I'm still amazed at how long he has been here without really being challenged.
Yeah, Udraconi doing a really good job just being aware of the fact that he is only shooting at 2 players. He may think there's 1 player is missing, and there it is. He finds Llama. Llama, who is trying to be the sneaky little beaver, unfortunately gets picked out as he tries to rotate back towards his team. Llama's going to drop back down to try to recollect with his team. Udraconi is able to spot 1. That's going to be a call out, and that's going to be forcing the rest of Pioneers to start running away. But too much chasing. You got to time your chases, Mega. you can't be the first one in without your team also pointing their crosshairs at the other team. Just like that, gets picked, and it's down to BMO all by himself trying to take out Llama and Spawns.
Yeah, this is kind of really falling apart for Ape Aura. They've got $2,000 to their name. I know we still have a little bit more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, but it is not looking good for them. They need to find a way to turn this around, get some cash, get a steal, get something going. But this cash out D is more than halfway done. Aguilar trying to find an entry, trying to find anything gateway to bring the action to them. Diving directly in there, gets Winchclaw, has to pull out of the stairwell, but sadly goes down in that battle. Now it's a battle of the SA shotguns as they dive into their faces, and Sloppy gets 2 in that battle, going for a res, going down from Udraconi. Now he's going for the steal. He's holding it. The dome shield's going off. Everybody is here, and this will be a perfect steal. Really uncontested.
Yeah, no, Ape Aura did a really good job. I did get mad earlier because the movement wasn't in sync for the team, but at the end, Udraconi just played really well, picking off the little bit of leftovers from that fight and being able to get their hands onto the cash out, most likely stealing it as well. And of course, everyone's going to look at the cash out that still has some time, but unfortunately, you're going to be looking at Pioneers, who have a really good setup right now.
Yeah, we've talked about their setup, and it looks like a good one right now. They're watching this cash out slowly drain down. Luxury is here, but I don't think that they have the luxury of time. They need to find something. S2 just bobbing and weaving on the ground. They might realize that this is not the battle for them. Pulling off, and I think going towards vault number 5. This is the better play, but there will be 3 teams all fighting for the vault.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say that it felt like everyone was starting to move away from vault number 5, which ironically is probably the call you might want to take because of the fact that Luxury is now on their way to fight. Good plays coming out of Fire Strays, noticing that the last cash out wasn't too far from where they were. More than likely, one of the 2 teams was going to be putting pressure onto the vault that they were on at vault number 5, rotating over to vault number 6, and now trying to pick off Pioneers before they can set up. And it looks like it's working out relatively well as Pioneers are kind of scrambling a bit.
Yeah, and T-Mills trying to spot anybody with the FAMAS. He is
is.
great at that. Gets Spawns down. This is going to be their entry. All of his teammates are there. You can see that they're chasing their kill, looking for anybody that goes in their sight lines. And really, this is wild because this is still just a fight over the vault. Now T-Mills trying to make his way a little bit closer towards his vault. Grabs it. Knows that his teammates can probably clean up the rest of them. It's an interesting call because now they are very split up. T-Mills just running with it, but they do need the cash. We're running down in time. We've got just a minute 50 left.
I mean, they got very lucky because Llama decided to play a little bit slower. He knew he was the last one. But Llama is definitely one of those players, especially as a heavy. Everybody else was pretty damaged. If Llama just was able to pop 1-2 shots on every player, he could have potentially go for a 3K and full team wipe. But still, it's not always about the kills. It's about the objective. It's about getting the cash. And right now, Pioneers, who are currently in the lead, are looking to potentially lose their lead.
Well, I don't know if they're looking to lose their lead, but they might lose their lead if they are unlucky. But they are right there at this cash out. They're ready to go for it. Brendy decides to dip out of that window. They do tap it momentarily, forces it to fall down. The C4 blew off. But now everybody's kind of scrambling around. This is some really interesting positioning. One thing to note is how close these cash outs are to each other. 50 meters, so you do have 4 teams all within a sight line of each other. This is why they're taking a little bit of a slower approach. They know that any team at any moment can just dive over there, and they know that they're vulnerable as soon as the cash out steal is happening, and that's exactly what they know is happening right now as they turn their attention towards cash out B. The steal is being attempted, but everything is being thrown down here. Somehow the Fire Strays are holding on, but can they hold on, Randomized?
Nope, they're not going to be able to hold on to that one. Big plays coming out of Pioneers. They recognized the steal was happening. They were looking to try to go for some picks, and picks they potentially could have had. Somehow, they would still, Brendy trying to stay alive. Spawns is the last one. It ends up not working out for them. Ape Aura was able to do a really good job winning that fight. But now, Luxury, knowing they're going to be able to get that cash, are looking to try and get both of the cash outs to close it out. It's not going to be enough time, I think.
No,
Yeah,
he
no,
started it at
Yeah,
6.
6
They were
seconds, yeah. But
1
that would
second
have
away.
been sick to close it out with both cash outs.
Yeah, Fire Strays did amazing in this map and really took it away. Just amazing, impressive. This is really good cash out. So far, Group B, I'm going to say it, way more impressive and a little more fun than Group A. Sorry, Group A. Love you guys. But this is kind of what I'm here for. This feels more standard. I'm loving the setups. I'm loving the formations. This is just, and I know that I'm saying that a lot, but somebody that's been casting this game for going on 2 years, it's something that we don't see a ton. Like we see formations happen, but not at this level, not at this like consistency, not at this like with that much going on, and it's just so cool to see. So I'm really excited to see it. And the Pioneers are doing great at that. They didn't take it away at the end, but honestly, Fire Strays, they just seem to have playing a little bit more of the metagame, going after the cash and just finding those openings.
They're playing for the cash, but I also feel like they're also playing a really good job at more of that late game style. Really
Mhm.
not rushing anything. I don't feel like I never feel like again, Fire Strays, they get picked off, but then they do a really good job playing off their spawn. And that's really ironically, I feel like that's one of the hardest things teams actually deal with is dealing with the fact of what do you do off spawn, and Fire Strays have been making the best calls in my opinion so far in these matches. And that's why they were able to take 2 maps out.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I forgot the map that we're going to, but we're
Arnault?
loading into Bernal. Oh, this will be a fun
Playday.
one to load into. And just a note for Bernal, it doesn't have as much height as any of the other maps. So it becomes quite a level playing field as these teams battle it out. But hey, there's somebody at my door, so take it for a minute there.
Yeah, we're going to be going into Bernal, which is the 3rd map of the rotation. And this is going to, again, as Rio mentioned just a moment ago, not much height to deal with. There's going to be a lot of ground fighting. So it's going to be coming down to how these players are going to be able to potentially get some height using the mediums for their bounce pads and what they're going to be able to do with that one. And it looks like we have our teams ready to run this one out. Ape, Aura going to be taking on Fire Strays over at Vault 2. And just like that, Varian is already starting to take some damage as he was trying to move in quickly. And a good play by Ape Aura to put so much damage down that Fire Strays just have to duck and cover at this moment. But not a lot of pressure has come out to the point where Fire Strays have to call it quits at this one.
Yeah, and Varian has some good positioning right now. He's ready to just oversee his teammates, just like we saw, popping over that railing, getting healing back up. And he knows that all of his team is right there. But they're diving directly on it, going through a gateway, bringing BMO down and then diving directly back out, going into the action one more time. Can he find another kill with the 93R? Healing his teammates back up with the Infuser, bringing Mega down in this. This is quite the battle. He gets Draconi as well. And there goes all of Apora. Yeah, that was very impressive, very quick, very coordinated. Good gameplay. Oh, and it's still me. We're just battling back and forth by people coming to our doors. Don't you know we're casting the finals? We got more action than you can handle. Throwing that vault over there. Nice little movement by the Pioneers. They're going to get set up at Cash Out A, get it started, and they look really uncontested. I don't even hear the pitter-patter of another team nearby, but as I say that, there is Luxury ready to deal the damage from the other rooftop. They have a slight disadvantage in height, so they're gonna have to find a better approach, but they decide to just go for it. They're going on the ground floor, maybe bringing themselves up with that goo, but they just throw it maybe as a little bit of a distraction tactic. I am not sure, but here is the gateway in hand by Aguilar. His teammates are not perfectly there, so I'm not sure the plan. It looks a little bit scrambled from Luxury.
You know, though, at least Luxury was able to call off really quickly. Aguilar looked like he was ready to just jump right in there, but notice that the team did get a little bit scrambled, so they're doing a good job playing a little bit slower. Aguilar is now going to be playing from the angle as they go in for the push. Ooh. I don't think they expected to have a big hole in the roof, though, so just like that, as they went to try to push in together, they go falling down and just getting chopped up. I mean, Luxury just showed up and left within 5 seconds.
That's a steamroll. Like, that is definition steamroll. And you can tell when all three of them are targeting one person and they're just dealing that raining fire down on them and just switching targets as well. It's really impressive. It's really high level. It's quite cool to see. They are tied with the Fire Strays. So our two teams that have qualified for the major seem to be performing quite well, but we still have 6 minutes in this map. It's anybody's game. This cash out A is ticking down. We're seeing one more approach by Ape Aura. They have one chance to get in there, but just a little bit of time.
Yeah, and that is definitely the time they're starting to lose. But BMO doing a good job, starting to force the players back a little bit. Looking to potentially go for a fake steal, knowing that they're going to get dropped. They are actually starting to panic and try to grab this one. BMO looking to try to get one of the kills, but then ends up walking into a room with two other opponents. Gets taken down, unfortunately, as Luxury just now looking to just be a nuisance in the background. And Pioneers also just trying to play for their lives.
Yeah, this is an interesting turn. They are trying to stay alive. S2 getting some good shots off, but really unable to bring anybody down in that battle. Aguilar gets spawns, though. This might be their opportunity to dive on them, finally bring the Pioneers down. Brindy and Llama are ready to bring the pain right back at him, and Byron, being the last person remaining, has to get the hell out of there, trying to throw as much goo and everything he can. Somehow he's done it, but I think they might have just let him get away, to be honest with you.
Yeah, maybe. No, Llama's hunting. Llama's sniffing, looking. Maybe try to put some damage down to stop his health from regenning. Byron now looking to really try to play his life. He knows that the team has started to get away from him. So now at this point, just needs to wait for his teammates to either coin in or res them. It looks like he's going to wait for the coin in, and they're going to have to reset as Luxury are looking to try and make a push. It's depending on which one they're going to go for. I'm not sure if they really want to go for that third party or not, because it seems to be every time they go for a third party, they accidentally slip in between the two of them. And that's what puts them in that weird position. And just like that, we actually jumped over to spawns to see him get eliminated. And nicely done by Ape Aura, working together to try and get rid of all of them. Another one taking down Llama. And now looking to chase down Brendy, who's by himself. And it looks like Luxury coming in. Everyone's a little bit too close to each other to make a full call on exactly how they want to go for this one.
Yeah, these cash outs are close, but Mega trying to get some shots off with the 93, or with the VFR, does find one, but not enough. He goes down in that. Aguilar going down as well. BMO running out of there and just trying to stay in it. Time is running down. Ooh, nice little red barrel. Popping shots off. Goo going down as well. And they are just holding on.
Yeah, I think BMO definitely turned his volume up for that one. Able to turn in seconds when he realized that there are footsteps right next to him, but unfortunately not working out for him. The vault, or cash out, excuse me, is in the hands of Pioneers, and they do have Luxury coming storming in once again. Have a little bit over 30 seconds to try and steal this one, so Luxury may want to see if they can get an elimination or two, but Ape Aura is here to join the party. Llama just trying to stay alive at this point. I think they start to recognize the third party is coming in, so they know they could play in a way where they just have to be a little bit of a nuisance. Put down the goo barrel and stop the steal from happening. Llama was able to run in there, do some work, and now, speaking of getting work done, everyone's trying to get onto this one, and somehow Ape Aura still steals a cash out.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot for them to be in. And the time's ticking down. They finally get the cash. And look at that. The last second diving in there. Great play for them. Now they're on the hunt. They know that the Fire Strays are looking for anybody trying to stay in it. It is all down to Varian T-Mills hiding in that corner, but they spot him out. BMO beaming him down.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for BMO, but it is at a good time where everyone can look to try to reset a little bit, so it's not going to be the worst thing in the world for him. Vault 5 looking like it's going to be in the hands of Fire Strays. I'm surprised they're not going to be using any sort of gate, so they're going to look to potentially run this one, go towards A or B. Don't know which way. Varian, make a choice, man. All right. Going to throw it off to the side. You know what? Not the worst call since there's a minute 20 left, and they are currently in first. Let them battle it out for just one cash at this point, as now we see Luxury and Ape Aura are the ones fighting it, and it looks like they're going to be rotating it to cache A.
Yeah, this is a good rotation. They're going to be able to get that started pretty uncontested. The T-Mill's taking some shots off. They've got a good rooftop advantage right now. Nice little reload there inside the building. But it looks like the Pioneers are going a different way. They want to go down below. This might be their opportunity. And cash out 5 looks like it's been batted away. We've got 45 seconds left. And both vaults are right next to each other. Nobody's plugged it just yet. This time might just run out before anybody can do anything. It's really ticking down. This is quite a wild way to end this match.
Not very common to see no cash out being
There it
ran.
goes.
Just as I said that cash out was put in by the Pioneers, but as soon as they do that, Llama goes down, or actually Llama's been down for a little bit, but Brendan spawns up to put that one in. You can still see the Vault 6 being thrown around. I think at this point someone is trying to fight for it, or Firestray is just doing a good job putting that to the side. I mean, it's going to be more than likely that they're going to end this one in second position, but at some point, there you go. Now it's out of the picture. Now you see Firestrays looking to make a move. They're going to want to get in that first place.
Yes, they do, and really they need to do something to hold on. They got 35K, and this cash will turn things in the favor of whoever holds it at the very end. Pioneers have a great setup right now. They're a little bit spread out, jumping down. Looks like Llama got the brunt of some damage. It immediately gets healed right back up, and then immediately gets dealt that damage right back at him. All of Luxury trying to make their approach right now. They're going on top of this cash out. Surely they're going to drop it down. There's the drop, but it drops into some gas. This will buy them some more time, and I think it's bouncing as well from the corner of my eye, but it has finally fallen down. But a lot of people have gone down in this battle as they make their approach. Lots of res is going off. We're in the last 7 seconds. Nobody's holding on to it, and it looks like the Pioneers have been able to get this cash unless something wild happens there. No, there was no time. They do get wiped, but the Pioneers take it by just 1,000 and a little bit.
Yeah, just at the nick of time. I mean, there was some questions whether or not that they were going to be able to get the cash in at all, just because of the fact that the amount of defense that was coming out in the last few seconds. But Pioneers make it work out in the end. It works out really nicely for them, and being able to jump up just in time. So also, just to let everybody know that on the website, the scores have been getting updated. We apologize that it's been taking a little bit. But if you do want to check out the website at prohubs.tf, you can see the scores live in action and see what position everyone is, as Nightmare is in first place. But focusing back onto this match here, Pioneers, again, just scraping off the top, being able to be in first place. Brendy with 7 kills, while the other teams all pretty much doing a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, it was a close one up until the very end. We didn't know which way it was going to go, but the Pioneers were looking really good for a lot of that match. So it's a fun one. This is a great group. I am really enjoying it. And yeah, all of you go check out our PHL website because they are updating all the scores so you can see all as they get added in where everybody's sitting, especially in the play days. But yeah, I think we still have 2 maps left for this group.
We do.
And
Yeah.
Nozomi, our first appearance of Nozomi today.
I'm excited for it. I love Nozomi. I love the aspect of Nozomi. I'm actually kind of being a bad pupil, and I'm wearing a different game on my shirt. I apologize to everyone. It was the only shirt I had on right now, but I come from the world of Trackmania, and I actually did a little fun fact. My last competitive map, we had to make a cyberpunk style map, and I named it Nozomi literally after this map because I built it to look like this map.
Okay.
I love the
That's
aesthetics of
interesting.
it, man. I love this map. I mean, look at it. Let's float around. Let's check it out. It is such a beautiful map. Forget the Citadel side. Go back to Nozomi. It's so cool. I love it. And purple's my favorite color, if you couldn't tell from the background. So, anyway, I know you guys aren't here to hear me yap about this stuff. Let's talk about what we are doing as we are going into this match at Nozomi, and only Nozomi, because best Omis.
The best Zomies. Okay, that's a great way to get started on the Zomi. It is our newest map, so I do think that this is a little bit more of a fun one, just because we haven't seen as many strategies as we would see in such a map as like Sis Horizon. But the teams have spawned. They're making their approach. Vault 2 and Vault 1 are on the floor, on the playing field, and spawns. Spots somebody out immediately with that 93R. Didn't get any kills just yet. Dashing back. Interesting little movement. Not sure what he was dodging there. Maybe he's got some Neo-like foresight that I just don't have.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta dash around to keep everybody on their toes, including yourself. And speaking of being on your toes, it's looking like Llama's trying to do some work at the bottom here, but Mega is just trying to catch him off. Llama is the first one to be taken down, and Brendy is the last one to be alive. And just like that, 1, 2, 3. Was it Draconi that did? No, I think someone else got that kill, but Draconi almost got the 3K for that one. That was very impressive by all 3 players of Ape Aura to just completely dominate that fight.
Yeah, dominating they did. Can they control that? Can they continue to do it? Maybe this is their map. We're going to be finding out. Watching now as the Fire Strays moving across, C4 in hand, going towards this vault, ready to grab it and get it started on A. There it goes, breaking those zip lines, making the approach that much more difficult, and that's what they're doing right now as well. They've got the height advantage, so they can start raining down on anybody that approaches. And that's, yeah, now the approach is being started by Luxury. They do want to come for this, but is slowing down just a little bit as they're taking some pop shots off. One of their lights has made their way off to the side of things. No doubt he will gateway the rest of his teammate over, and I think that's what's about to happen.
Yeah, but Varian was able to spot the move before it officially happened. Noticed that it started to get quiet on one end, started to rotate to the other, but it was only 2 of them that did rotate, but it's not really working out as Byron is getting shot in the back. A Heavy doing a good job being the meat shield, but not enough by his teammates to keep him alive. Potentially, no. He's going to be taken down by Varian. Nicely done there, and that's just going to, unfortunately, leave S2 by himself. Trying to play that one. Udraconi on the other side also taking a little bit of damage. And Ape Aura just looking over at the health bars. There's a bit of a battle going on over there. Luxury had to pull out from that fight, and they got they were able to spot the rest of these 2. And somehow, even with all that chaos, Fire Strays walks out alive on that one.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good so far. Maybe they'll get themselves up higher on the board for this one. They've got plenty of time, and yeah, just looking at the kills, spawns with 3. The rest of everybody else just holding on, getting a few little kills there. Luxury only a 1 kill to their name, but I'm kind of curious what's happening at the rest of the board as we move over. Nothing crazy. Both teams are making their approach. 1 cash out by the Pioneers is just about to complete. It looks like the Fire Strays are about to get this cash out as well.
Yeah, it's looking out for them, but now we do have a fight going on with Ape Aura against Pioneers. I think they were both kind of just sitting in that middle area trying to see where the vaults were going to spawn. And Pioneers, even though they did get picked off, were able to rotate away and start to move towards that vault. So Pioneers and Fire Strays are going to be the first 2 to capitalize on the first cash out. Oop, surprise. You're not going that way. Now let's try going the other way. And surprise again, as all of a sudden a big RPG comes out of nowhere and takes him down. Llama's able to take out one. Then looks like his teammate got yoinked, but it still works out.
Wow.
Llama's able to get in there and protect his team. And just like that, it doesn't matter. Brendy almost dies, but Pioneers back each other up and take out all of Ape Aura.
That was impressive. They completely turned that battle on its head. I did not think that the Pioneers were going to get out of that. Instead, they completely flipped it and got all the kills. Amazing to see. Turning our attention now to Cash Out C, which has just been started. Aguilera just trying to stay in this, healing his teammates back up, but they are all pinched on top of this rooftop. Everybody is diving in, trying to find them. They need to find a little bit better positioning, but instead they are just kind of stuck here. breaking all the zip lines, trying to make it just a little bit more difficult for anybody that comes their way. Fire Strays now starting their approach. They are going below it, and I think that they're going to try and drop this if they can. They're now bunching up, trying to walk very slowly, make as little noise as they can, give away as little information as possible. And here they go. Slothy shooting that RPG off. Didn't connect in the way that they needed. Goes for a winch, misses that as well. They really need to regroup here, Randomize.
Yeah, it would almost work, but unfortunately just getting spotted in that last moment trying to sneak around. So now Slothy and the rest of Fire Strays scrambling a little bit to try to figure out something, but they're still able to put some decent damage down. Luxury just trying to stay alive. Fire Strays almost getting the steal, but Luxury had a C4 on there, able to force the Volt to go down, or excuse me, the cash out, but it's not going to matter. It looks like the steal is still going to happen as S2 and Aguilar is taken out. Byron, the last one alive, and it's a 1v1 between the two of them. Still able to take out Slothy, has maybe to take on 2 more players, or he will play for his life. Still a little bit of time. Might be worth to try to put a little bit of damage and wait for his teammate to come regroup as they just coined in.
Yeah, that's a perfect time to coin in. This chaos is just building up. Nice little goo pad, and they're trying to find an entry. Everybody is just here. They're trying to go for the steal. The repeater is popping off, but it's not enough. He just jumped over one of his shots. There goes BMO finally going down. Brittany just trying to kite this for as long as possible. It is going down. The steal is being attempted. He's got a sight line, but they stop it. Mega able to hold him off, and they're able to get the flip. That is a good steal by Ape Aura.
Yeah, it works out really nice for them, but as we jump over to the other side, Luxury did try to go for one last move to go for the steal. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them, and Aguilera taken out as well. S2 and Byron are just trying to play their lives at this point, and it looks like Slothy was able to find one of them. Byron all by himself, heavy versus heavy, trying to blast him out, and it still works out nicely for Slothy, able to win that one. And it's gonna be another Fire Strays lead. Again, it's amazing me, Rio, just the way Fire Strays, they play ever so slightly sloppy right at the beginning, and then just gather it together and then just destroy it. Like, I think they do it on purpose now. I am convinced they act like I don't know what I'm doing, and then boom, look at this. Look at that. You think they're gonna get that yoink. You think they're gonna get that kill, but it's still not working out for Llama. Still able to take out Slothy. A trade comes in, Spawns, even after all of that, trying to take him down, Spawns is left alone. Oh,
yeah, look at this. He's staying in this. I am amazed that they're able to hold on for as long as they have. Spawn's getting the hell out of there, waiting for his teammates to coin in. Not even worth going for the reses. He might go for this vault. This is some interesting plays, especially when he's the last person remaining. His teammates still have a few seconds before they can coin in, and thankfully they have, but boy, that got dicey there for just a second.
It did, but you know what? They still made it work out relatively well, even with all the situations. Luxury, though, speaking of being in a little bit dicey situation, all get taken out just like that by Ape Aura as we switch over to see if anyone's going to look to do any work and towards damage to them, because we are going to potentially go into, I don't know if we're going to go into a longer overtime, but we do guarantee ourselves at least 18 extra seconds of overtime. Ape Aura a little bit over that halfway mark, a little bit less than, I would say about, we're getting close to that 45-second mark. As now we see Brendy and crew running in, able to spot one of the players out of position, being taken out. Spawns now trying to chase down another player. He gets Mega. Mega's taken down. Ape Aura losing every player one by one. They're not able to get the steal, though. Great plays by Udrakoni, able to put some work down. And then now we have Fire Strays joining in the fight, trying to put some work in there. Nice goose out of the team. It's still not working out for them, getting picked left and right. And I think it was Udrakoni was able to get that last one. And just like that, Pioneers is eliminated. And now Fire Strays are looking to try to make their move, but it's not going to happen as they are starting to slowly get picked out of there. And Udrakonian team just trying to do everything they can to keep this catch out. And just like that, they were able to make it happen. Even with all the chaos that came out of that, it still works out in their favor.
Okay, that was wild. That was a great play by Ape Aura. They were able to hold on and just the utter chaos towards the end. Very impressive. Just a wild cash out match, and I really was kind of confused towards the end because the split up going towards the vault and then coming right back. Just a wild match, but quite a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to do that. You got to move around a little bit. You got to confuse the teams. You spread out a little bit, start to tag a few players on every team, and then as the teams start to move in, you become that eye of the storm. And you think everything is fine. You got some room, and then boom, everything comes out of nowhere. It works out really well for them, and Ape Aura still just controlling at that last second. I mean, literally controlling. Ujikoni single-handedly stopped almost every single pull at that last second. And a little bit of help here and there from the other teams, but Ujikoni, again, just constantly just going for the tags and then letting someone else clean up if he had to.
Yeah, no, it was perfect movement, great setup, and just really playing that kite game. You got to be just a little bit of an annoying pest if you're a good light, and that's exactly what he did there.
Mosquito.
So it just,
That's what you said.
yeah, mosquito. I want to reserve that for uni, but it's the
Fair.
the pest.
It's all light.
God,
It's
I'm gonna
all
get so
light.
much hate. I'm gonna get so much hate mail from these players tomorrow. But hey, you love it, and we have one more map for this group, and that's gonna be Las Vegas. Another map we haven't seen today, but really it's kind of one of my favorites. Got big open sight lines, big areas where people can control height, and it's just kind of a unique one in my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, good old Viva Las Vegas. Of course, you have to have. You know what's funny is when you really think of actual Las Vegas IRL, it's really you got the one strip and that's wide and open, just like in the map. But I feel like the casinos are a little bit too open because I'm pretty sure I'm usually bumping into a bunch of people when I'm over at the casinos. I'm from Jersey. We got Atlantic City. It's close enough. All right. So, but the players still somehow able to maneuver things and close up a lot of gaps, and it really works out for them as we are looking over this beautiful map. I mean, I don't know about you, Rio, but I usually try my best to force everything into parking because it feels like it's easier to control when you're over on that parking side.
Well, yeah, you've got the little building on top. You can drop it, I believe, 4, maybe 5 floors. It's a perfect little spot on this map, and I'm sure that we will see it being utilized quite heavily if we get a cash out spawn over there. But the teams have loaded in. This will be the final match for Group B, and boy, I think that these teams are ready to give us a show.
Yeah, looking to start this one up, Pioneers on Vault 2, and it looks like Ape Aura is going to be getting Vault 1. It's going to be very important for them on how they're going to be able to move out of this one because it looks like the other teams, we do have Luxury that's going to be putting pressure straight onto the vault. Well, I think Fire Strays are going to be playing a little bit more back, which I feel like is a good play because they can make a really good decision on how they want to do this. No, Luxury also stayed up, and it looks like both caches are going straight to A. We might potentially see a double up if Fire Strays wants to play Little Daring. Or Ape,
Do it.
Ape Aura, excuse me.
Do it! They're about to! Yes! We have a double in the very beginning, which means that this is going to turn into utter calamity as all 4 teams dive onto 1 point. Right now, it is in the hands of the Pioneers, but they have to do quite a lot to hold on control. There is Spawns diving in, wanting to stop the steal, but he goes down from BMO. And it looks like they're going to be able to hold on for just long enough. Brendy taking some shots. He does bring him down, but it's not enough to stop the steal.
Yeah, unfortunately, you just got to deal with the delay of every shot. It wasn't able to close that one out. And now we do see Slothy looking to put this one into the hands of Fire Strays. You really want to be the team that has control and pretty much let everyone else do all the damage, and that's exactly what you're seeing coming out of Fire Strays. They are backing off, they're getting into a higher position, they're looking to get in a way where they're just going to have to play picks. They're not going to have to do anything else, but everyone else seems to also have somewhat of the same idea. You can see Luxury just kind of waiting for their moment up on top. Pioneers and Ape Aura are going to probably be the ones who are going to start this.
Yeah, This is wild for 2 cash outs, or for 2 vaults being doubled right here. Everybody's so spread out, but I guess they were just waiting for this moment now. The steal being attempted by Llama, but here is the dive from the Fire Strays. They're all on top of this point. It looks like they were able to bring Llama down in that. They're chasing the second kill, but another steal needs to be attempted right now if somebody wants to grab this. Time is ticking down, but it seems to be held on by the Fire Strays. Can they hold on for about 5 or 10 more seconds? It is ticking down. There's one steal being attempted by Luxury, but the pull, they're able to stop it, and I think they're gonna hold on to this. This is a great turn of events for the Fire Strays.
Yeah, it's a great start. They were the only team to be able to get a steal. They did it early, and then they got out of the way. And again, like I said, let everyone else do the damage, and they look to clean things up. Works out really well. BMO trying to put more damage down onto Luxury. Look to try to eliminate the rest of them. Does get back to his team, and just like that, you chase one player into the rest of them, and surprise, surprise, you're left alone. BMO able to take out S2. Luxury, a little bit late on when the team got wiped, but they got wiped, and unfortunately, they're not going to be able to really do much when it comes to dictating where these vaults are going.
Yeah, they just don't have that luxury. All right, I'll stop. All right, moving over, it looks like vault number 4 is about to be plugged into B, and I think that is the, what is that, the parking structure cash out that we were talking about. Nope, it's not. It's a little bit off. Couldn't tell from the side of my screen. It's close. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
And,
yeah, you know, we'll play. Again,
Yeah.
personally, me, I like playing near the parking structure. If we have to play on the outside of it, fine, same thing. And look at this. Speaking of playing right on the outside, on the stairs, Mega had 2 players on site, but he just did not pull the trigger. You need to make sure he got the shots when he did. He's going to try to force his cash out to drop down. Did it a little early. Not sure if I would make that call, but forcing this one into the corner now. And his teammates are going to go him into the corner. So it's going to work nicely. It's a little bit high, but thankfully no one's putting much pressure on them. So they're going to be able to put that cash out into their hands and now play on defense.
Yeah, great little steal by Ape Aura, and like you said, they're setting up for defense. They haven't gotten to height just yet, but I'm sure that that's exactly what they're looking for, but maybe they just don't want to get too far away from this. We do hear that Luxury is close. They're a little bit above them. They're making some noise, and really both cash outs aren't that far apart from each other as well. So Aguilera trying to find an opening, find some information. He does spot a little bit of an opening there that he could go into, but he hasn't made an approach just yet. This is a very slow approach for all of the teams. These have really kind of taken a backseat, taken a little bit of a slowdown, and it's not kind of what I expected.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Vegas can be one of those maps where it can be complete chaos and speed or slowdown. And S2 Gaming, though, looking to make the first push, trade-offs, and a quick little res. Nicely done there. Mega, though, is able to kind of clean up a little bit. It's a 2v2 and make that a 1v nothing.
Yeah.
And there they go. They're all gone because of the third party that came in.
Yeah, I mean, we're finally starting to see some actual third parties happening. It is changing things a little bit. The Fire Strays able to get in there at the last second, get the steal. And on the other side of things, it looks like the Pioneers are pretty uncontested on their cash out. They're leaving it. They know that they have it. Nobody is close by, and Vault 5 has spawned. It's about to be tappable, and I think the Fire Strays are pretty close to it.
Yeah, no, it looks like they're looking to potentially take advantage of how they're close to it. But Vault 5 and 6 didn't really spawn too far from each other. And especially if you're Pioneers right now, you can kind of make a decision. Tap this one and then make a push on the other one if you want. I don't know, maybe double up the vault again? I'm just trying to look for some chaos at this point.
I'd love it. Double it again. This is what I want to see. It's the final match of Group B. And you know what? Throw a little bit more chaos in there. We started with chaos. Let's end with chaos. Brindy with that repeater, trying to take any shot that he can from the Mega Dome, but didn't really spot anybody in those crosshairs. The gateways are off. The cash out, either vaults are making their ways towards the cash out, but on the other side of things, Varian taking a fight with BMO. Does look like he went down in that one. T-Mills now taking some shots off, bring BMO down. Trying to get his teammate back up as well. Gets the res, but sadly goes down.
A little bit of a switcheroo there, but it ends up working out. The res turns into a kill and works nicely. But the scary part is, as you can see, Luxury hears the alarms and bells going off and starts to make the move. It's not even their cash out, but they look to try to take advantage of the fact that a player is just kind of caught off guard, but it's not working for them. Luxury now are forced to play back, and they're a little bit split up. It's not working nicely. Byron tried to back up as his teammate, but because he ran away and was not able to turn around and help out, it works out really nicely for Abora to steal this cash out. Fire Strays, it's going to be up to them. Do they come back to that? It looks like they actually spawn towards D, so they're going to be taking on Pioneers over there.
Yeah, it was a really sloppy approach by Luxury. They tried to dive into that battle, and then they just went down one after each other. So need to find a better approach on their next push. And we're going to change our viewpoint towards Varian as he's starting his approach. He's holding off a little bit, got that infuser, opens those doors. He's trying to limit his information. I think just any little bit of sound does give your position away. And they are getting a little bit closer towards D, but also keeping their attention towards A. I don't think that they've made a decision just yet because they are still pretty close. We hear the pings going off. This is the decision making. This is what we don't see all the time. They're just thinking, trying to figure out the entryway.
You have to, because you know Luxury just spawned in. You need to figure out which way they're going and make your choice off of that. As you can see, Slothy is just pinging every single team. They are probably communicating, saying, there's purple, there's this one, there's that one. Slothy looking to make his move, trying to put some damage down onto the purple team, and now having to fight it off. It's going to be a three-way battle for this A, and there's really not a lot of time. You can actually kind of see, I think it's Varian on the other side. If his team fails this fight, Varian is probably going to look to try to do some work on the other side, because Fire Strays right now is just down to him, and it looks like that cash is going to be done. It's all coming down, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Pioneers will take this map.
Okay, what a very kind of anticlimactic way to end this one in the group. I was hoping for a double. Instead, we got two very slow cash outs with a little bit of a flashpoint towards the end, but the Pioneers were able to grab it and hold on and take it away with the cash. So that is the wrap up for Group B. I do believe that the totals are being added as well in real time. So we will see where everybody kind of plays out in the end here. But yeah, Vegas, any thoughts on Vegas? Anything that really kind of stood out to you there? Llama with 0 kills, that stands out.
That stands out big time. But also on the other side, Utraconi with 11 kills, even though their team got in third place. It's always impressive to see like a massive showdown with someone and just putting out the slaying power. But if your team's in third place, is it really worth all those kills? You know, you're not capitalizing on the rest of the work. And can we also talk about the fact that Llama not only has 0 kills, but 3 digits in the combat, 429 Llama AFK'd.
Yeah, he was just chilling. That
and
was
they're first, by the way.
yeah. Llama plays like I do as soon as I play with my friends, and basically they carry me. And yeah, I would love. I'm actually going to go back and rewatch this one because I don't know how you do that. In all honesty, how do you get under 1,000 damage? How do you get under 1,000 support score and make it on? I mean, yeah, maybe he was AFK for that, but that is going to wrap up Group B. Group B was quite an interesting one. It felt more composed than Group A. So Group C, I don't know what that means. We had wild and chaotic, composed in Group B, and what does that leave us for Group C?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe a mixture of both. I'm not really sure about that one because Group C, you know, Pulsar, Blue, Envy, Young Guns, and Diminish. Actually, you know what? If anything, the one thing we're missing is pure domination, and Envy's in this group. We had chaotic, we had control, and now we have the middle, just domination. And I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe Envy will be the one to do it.
Okay, well, that is strong words for the next group coming up. But before we get there, we're going to take a quick little break. And before we take that break, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Crash. Thank you so much for supporting PHL. Guys, go check him out if you haven't seen his Twitch. He's an amazing person. And with that, we are going to take it to a quick little break. So stay tuned because we have Group C coming up. Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome back to PHL Season 2 Playday number 1. That is a mouthful. My name is Rio, and I am joined here by Randomize. Randomize, we've made it through 2 groups so far. What are your thoughts on those 2, just really quick?
Well, like I said before we went to break, we had a very chaotic group, didn't know what was going to happen. We then had a very controlled group, kind of figured out what was going to happen. Now we have the speedrunning org, Envy, who all put out YouTube videos of them speedrunning through the close qualifiers, and then the rest of the suckers that have to deal with them, Pulsar, Young Guns, and Diminish. Don't count them out, though. All great teams, all teams that can definitely do some damage, and I'm looking forward to this match, Rio.
Yeah, me too. And looking over the picks, we see that we're going to Monaco, Skyway, or I'm sorry, Sis Horizon, Nozomi, and then Skyway. But we're going to get started on Fortune Stadium. And as you said, this will be a very fun group and, one to watch. And just for those of you out there, I actually just interviewed Ruby Labubu with Waltz on our podcast. And one really interesting thing he said for the Young Guns is that they try and play for fun and kind of showmanship. So they're not as competitive, but they're really kind of into playing off meta. They're into playing a different style and more just to make it a interesting show for you guys, you viewers out there. So might be a team to watch as we load into Fortune Stadium for Group C and our final group of the day.
Speaking of off meta, I'm really curious if Appo is going to be coming in with the bow. I mean, I know Appo loves the bow and arrow.
Oh, I
Been
guarantee
trying to
it.
make it work, and I want to see if he will be coming in with that bow and arrow into this match as we are here and ready for the action.
Ready for
he's
the
not-
action. Apple's not here today. Oh, Honor the Pure just immediately gets shot out of the air. That's what makes this vault so difficult is you have to cross the chasm and find your way over there, but he just gets deleted, and it's all on Tiger. Last person remaining. He does have a pipe in hands. Nice to see that running, and he is getting some shots off, finds a little bit of height, but he is the only person remaining, so he's forcing his teammates to either coin in or do something a little bit different. Goes for an edge play, and what just happened? It's a little bit slippery on the edge.
Oh man, don't push me over the edge, man. And that's exactly what happens. Just take yourself out. You know, it happens. You're here for showmanship. Thank you for the show. We really appreciate that one for sure. But I will say I've had my fair share of slip ups. You think you're fine, and nah, just holding that. You're holding one of those A or D keys a little bit too long, and bye you go. As we do see Servati trying to play their life. Never mind. They decide to take themselves out in a blaze of glory. So Pulsar Blue also will be the second team to get wiped. And a good job to get the steals going on. So now Diminish and Envy will be the ones to start off the match with their cash outs.
Absolutely, and it looks like the Young Guns are making their approach towards Cash Out A. We're watching as Honor the Pure tries to stay a little bit above them. He did go invis, but it wasn't the right play at the moment. Looks like Busy just deletes Tiger with an RPG. There's Ruby trying to get a bonk out, but it is not going to work as all of the Young Guns go down. 1, 2, and 3. 2 kills from Busy on the crazy hitting.
I think that was 3.
Was it 3? Did he get all 3?
Yeah. I think he got a little bit of a
Busy.
hat trick right there. It was nicely done by Busy.
Oh, man. Love to see it.
Oh, those are the best moments, especially when, you're rocking a new gun and you show the amount of work it could be doing. But speaking of new gun, how about watching old gun happen? I was going to make a Young Gun play, but then I was like, we're not on the right team to do that. So unfortunately, my pun was diminished from that one, as Diminished themselves are going to get almost diminished. But still works out really well for Pulsar Blue to turn this one around, get the cash in hands, and now we have one diminished player just lurking around, waiting for their opportunity.
Ooh, there is a nice little play by Ruby Labubu. The goo's going down. They're trying to build themselves a little bit of a goo roof, but it looks like C4 went off, pulls him off of the steel, trying to get it right out from under the hands of Envy, but I don't think that they have enough time. There's the bonk. He can't get it off. Young Guns go down again. Busy, the force to deal with in this arena. God, that is a scary person to come against.
Can we get a scoreboard check really quickly? I just want to see how much. 6 kills. 6 kills, Busy. Dude, we're only a few minutes in, and you're already dominating the entire match right now. I told you it's a speed run, man.
It's so fun to watch as well because in the close we just didn't have the BFR. We didn't have the P90, but
No.
I don't think that's making an appearance today. But this BFR Titan, ooh, it hits and it hits hard. And you put it in Busy's hands, he's gonna hit him. And of course, as soon as I start talking about it, he misses every shot possible. But that's
aiming
okay.
at pixels. Leave the guy alone. He's aiming
All right.
at a little bit of pixels with a red dot. Okay, it's kind of tricky. All right, he didn't miss any other shot. Let's see what happens here as he gets pulled in. Okay, bye, Busy. Okay, bye. Goodbye, everyone. Hello, Stu. What are you doing? You're throwing your own team out of here.
Okay, a slip up from Envy, but that's what we've seen. These little slip ups can really compound every team. Tiger now trying to take some shots off with that pike. Didn't really connect, but I think it did blow up that mine that was on there, or possibly the C4. Going back a little bit there, they want to maybe wait for Ruby to coin back in. Go for another attempt. They do have plenty of time, but Diminish, look at their setup. They're trying to get in a nice little position that they're ready to dive on it at a moment's notice.
Ready to dive on it is the more important part. You see Diminish all kind of stacked up together. Don't know if they're going to wait for a third party or not. I don't think they're going to get what they want, but here they go. They're starting to make their push. Honor, a little bit on his own there. Has to play this one back a little bit. And you do see Ruby Labubu is now in position to try to go for the steal. It's going to come down to see how Diminish is going to handle this one.
Nice.
Coming on in, they do get the steal, and coming out with the sledgehammer. Still doesn't work out for them. Diminish still has all 3 players up. Boom, Bubba, excuse me, barely alive, and leaving this one down to Police, who does a good job being able to put some damage. He has, I was just about to say, had no idea they had a player right above him, but never mind. His teammates got his back.
Yeah, sadly the Young Guns don't seem to have the best defenses right now. They can get in there, they can find their positioning, but they're just not able to hold on. On the other side of things, Cash Out C, about a 2/3 of the way done, about a third left. It is running down. Stooge did find one on Sparrow. Pulsar Blue might need to struggle a little, or might need to, gets a nice little red barrel, finds another kill. Boo Boo connects those shots, but can they stay on it? They need to kite this a little bit longer. Stall one more time. He's got a sliver of HP. Sadly, they spot him out and get the flip.
Yeah, and just like that, it's going to be Sparrow all by himself. He is able to get out Stu, looking to maybe try to wipe out the rest of Envy, but it's not going to really be in his favor to do so either way. I would almost say it's time to get out of there and move on, because unfortunately, what could have potentially given you the lead, and you end up walking straight into Envy. You got to get out of there, Sparrow. Trying to do that, play his life safely. And now, the scary part is, because he played a little bit slower, he may potentially rotate straight into another team. And there he is. He noticed it. He needs to get back and play it safe so that his team can kind of get back with him.
Yeah, it is not a good situation for him to be in. And it looks like Pulsar Blue have been spotted out because Boo Boo taking some damage from that. Calf and Neo throwing that gateway, trying to spot and bring his teammates back up. He is ready to move at a moment's notice. They're watching this vault just run down, ready to throw it. There's the gateway in hand. Definitely baiting it, and there it goes. They're ready to make some moves. Vault 6 on the move. Cafaneo getting some shots off of the RN. Not able to stay in this battle. Stu just runs in there, grabs Vault 6, and gets out of dodge.
Yeah, Stu barely staying alive as well, so nicely done by him. You can hear the pings coming out, being told which way to rotate, but he gets caught off by Bubba. Bubba is going to force Stu back a little bit, but that's going to be fine because Stu just walked straight into Envy, the rest of his teammates, and now they're going to be working their way over, as we see on the other side. Boo Boo, as long as the rest of Pulsar is able to steal B. And here comes the hammer, here comes the sledge, here comes the boom, as he was able to take out one of them. Now the rest of Young Guns trying to put some damage down. Still, somehow Honor was able to stay alive and get that kill. All Pulsar getting wiped. They're going to be getting Cash Out B back in their hands. Nicely done by Young Guns.
Absolutely. This will be their opportunity to get in potentially second. I'm pretty impressed that Envy have decided to go and plug that and get the other cash out started. They're just ensuring that they get more cash and stay in first on this battle. Bubba getting some heals, healing up his teammates as well. They're stuck in a very awkward position in between two teams. Surely they're about to get pushed. They're just struggling to stay in there, but there's the gateway ready to go across. And there they go. They do follow in. Somehow they brought themselves over pretty much untouched.
I don't even know how Cafaneo was able to get out there, get a gateway out, and stay alive. Really nicely done by them, and the rest of Diminish is now they're making a push. Honor taken out, looking to get the steal. Well aware that the rest of the team is going to be looking to push in. It's looking like Boo Boo is trying to swing away, takes them out. It's not going to end up working out for them. Tiger is also going to be eliminated, but just as that happens, Diminish is by himself, had no idea a third party was coming in, and of course, who is it? Envy.
Yeah, Envy are here, and look at this. They're getting the steal, holding it on. They're going to be able to hold on to this for as long as possible, and the Young Guns' hopes of getting anywhere other than fourth is going to be very difficult. Cash out ticking down. We've got Pulsar Blue holding on to this cash out A, and it looks like they just need to hold on for about 15, maybe 20 more seconds as the clock is ticking down. The teams are making their approach. This will be a last second dive. Envy is here. Hopefully they're just looking for more kills, not more cash. The time will tell. Timer is running out, and it looks like Pulsar Blue have done it. Envy will be on top, and Pulsar Blue making their way into second, lighting it on fire at the very end just to celebrate.
SDN running around with that defib at the end made me a little worried. I was like, are we about to get a clip? Are we about to see a clip? But unfortunately,
it's not uncommon for them to run around with the defibs at the very end to buy themselves more space. It really kind of clears the most of the screen. And when there's that much chaos going on, I'm curious if that's maybe why he did that. But yeah, it was a wild way to end that match. And Fortune, what a crazy way to get started as well, with Envy sitting pretty with 60K. That is impressive. And Cafaneo as well at 0.
Yeah, Cafaneo at 0, but damage up there and 4 assists. So then that's what I expect to see when someone has 0 kills. Just, okay, you couldn't clean up your kills, but you were able to put a little bit of damage out. And yeah, it's just one of those things where now it's going to be, how do the teams respond? How does everyone come back out of that one? I mean, again, Envy. Yeah. What else can you really say about them? At this point, Envy is playing, again, another speed run while the other 3 are doing their best. Pulsar doing a really good job, though, still being able to control a lot of the match as well, being able to recognize. Honestly, I feel like Pulsar is doing a good job recognizing where Envy is moving and playing around them. They're playing smart. They're playing bocce ball with Envy as the pole.
Yeah, no, and I've seen this before where teams kind of play for second. It's a bit of a weird strategy, but when you have somebody that's as heavy of a hitter as Envy, you either go up against them and try and go in a David and Goliath situation, or you just kind of play it safe, play it easy. I'll take my points, I'll take my lower score, and maybe get a couple kills in there. And when that happens, and maybe we'll see this by map number 4 or 5, they just completely leave them alone. And Envy is sitting there just sipping mojitos, enjoying themselves, really not a care in the world. So I am curious to see if that stays as we move on to the next maps, but time will tell. Also, though, I do want to shout out the Young Guns had a lot of approaches, a lot of really good plays, but they just didn't have defenses. I just saw them just crumble after they'd stolen, and it just seemed like they just needed to find their footing just a little bit better and then get in those formations that we were seeing in Group B.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, defense can be really difficult, especially on a map by Fortune, but we're going to be moving on to a map that I feel it's even harder to defend, Bernal. Bernal is a lot more of a flat map. You don't really get to deal with height advantage. And, if you're not ready for it and you're not looking in the right direction, you could pretty much just get picked off and surprised. So, a little worried about Young Guns. Hopefully, they'll be able to figure that one out. Maybe they'll get lucky, try to find any of the cash outs that are at least multi-volume, at least up to a second floor. And but then again, the problem is everyone has is Envy. Envy, if whoever they decide to make their chew toy are pretty much out for a round because again, Envy is just showing how dominant they are in NA. First match, maybe someone will be able to shut me up in the next match, or excuse me, in the next match, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, that is a lot to look forward to. Do Envy hold on to their dominance, or are we going to see some cracks in the foundation? We're getting started here. Both vaults have spawned. It looks like Pulsar Blue are really close towards Vault 2, but right in chase is Diminish. They need to get set up. They need to find some kills, and this is it. The engagement starts right off the bat. Both teams diving on top of that rooftop. Sparrow having to get out of there, find himself a little bit more space, but he just gets deleted by Belize. His teammates trying to heal himself up. Boo Boo, the last person remaining, and he's taking some damage, dealing it right back, surviving on just this sliver of HP, trying to get out of there, but could not make it. Bubba spotted him from afar, gets that kill. Vault 1 on the other side of things has popped, and these teams are already engaging as well. The Young Guns buying themselves a little bit more space, getting closer towards the Vault, but they know that Envy are close, basically just directly on top of them.
It's really not helping that Honor is also unfortunately down. And speaking of being directly on top of them, Boo Boo has 2 players jump down on him, still able to put a lot of damage out, take out STN, but then Busy coming around the corner, being able to clean him up, and just like that, Young Guns are clean and swept off the map by Envy. Only 1 person going down, and that'll be fine for them. They'll be able to recover from that one. So now, we're going to be jumping on board with Sparrows and the rest of Pulsar Blue as they're going to be making their move towards Diminish. Diminish doing a really good job defending, but Gafaneo caught off guard again. Unfortunately, you got to be careful when you are that light player. You can be the one to poke, but you have to be ready for anyone to flank, and just getting caught off guard like that. All 3 players are back up, but they are dealing with an angry Pulsar Blue coming in, guns a-blazing, able to put some damage down, but still just not enough right at the moment.
Yeah, that was a really good engagement. They just were trying to dive on there, find any opening, capitalize on it, and Sparrow now readjusting, trying to spot a shot out. Did bring one of them down quite low, but it's not enough. All of Diminish is still up. They're staying on that high ground. They're just trying to kite this for as long as possible. It's more than halfway there. We are now seeing the approach by Pulsar Blue. They're on the bottom level, hopefully going to gateway themselves up there, but still staying low. They want to try and stay inside these buildings so they're not spotted out, don't lose any health before the direct engagement, and that's what we're ready for. They're ready to just dive on this point. Cash Out has about a third left. RPG goes off. They're ready to go for them, but look at this. All of Diminish have just left. They found themselves a different position, and this is leaving Pulsar Blue scratching their heads, trying to figure out what is happening. They're not ready to go for this just yet, but the time is ticking down. They need to find an opening. They need to do something close, and the ceiling is just collapsing on top of them, bringing both teams together as they clash. The rooftop battle is kicking off. The BFR Titan finds 1 shot, but it's not enough. This time is ticking away, and they need to hold on for just a little bit longer. Somehow Diminish have played a perfect kite game. Can they hold on as they get 1, 2, and 3 of Pulsar Blue?
Pulsar Blue doing their best that they could, but Diminish doing a really good job there. Young Guns on the other side gets eliminated by Envy, and already 9 kills altogether for Envy. They are currently in 2nd place as there's a little bit more going on from Diminish, but I have to say, Servati did his best. He did get in a good position, but unfortunately just could not get everything that he needed to do for Pulsar Blue. And just like that, off the spawn, they are getting picked off already. Sparrow trying to stay alive, but it's just not working out for them right now. They keep getting picked off little by little. Just every little move they try to do, someone is ready for them.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens in these lobbies. It's the little mistakes, it's the little tiny things that you have to exploit. You have to kind of really find your way in, and it's what makes this game so exciting at a high level. STN now making the call to join into the chaos of the 3 teams in Honor, dashing around unaware of STN as he gets 1 and chases in there. He's ready to clean this up. The rest of his team is here as well. They know a res is happening, and they bring him down. All of Diminish wiped, and Envy bully themselves in there, grab the vault, gonna get it started on D.
I mean, STN put so much damage down on both Young Guns and Diminished that pretty much it was a trade-off for both Young Guns and Diminished. Like, remember what I said, Envy chooses their chew toy, and unfortunately that time they wanted a little bit more, and they won both their toys.
Well, and the timing was just perfect. They knew that the engagement was going off between the two teams. It was the perfect time to get in there. Third party when you know that one team potentially is low, but Cafaneo immediately spots out Sparrow, bringing him down, going after the rest of the team of Pulsar Blue. Gets Servati down as well. It's all on Boo Boo. He needs to bring somebody back up, and it looks like he did get the res on Sparrow. The teams are scrambling, trying to stay in this, but it looks like Cafaneo is just battling everybody and anybody that comes in his way, getting Ruby Labubu, getting the next one, getting Tiger. Are you kidding me? What is happening right now?
Cafaneo was struggling a little bit in that last match and then woke up now. Unfortunately, after all of that happened, Diminish still gets wiped, but Cafaneo just played out of his mind, putting damage down, slowing things down for them. But if anything, Cafaneo was kind of helping out Pulsar Blue, because now Young Guns still, even though that fight kept going back and forth, Young Guns now are just trying to get the steal, and Pulsar Blue in a good position. They took advantage of Cafaneo just going insane.
Yeah, and this is turning into the kite game. They're trying to stop Ruby and his team from getting on there. The SA shotgun is dealing damage to their face, but he hasn't connected just enough yet. Trying to continue this battle, finding his next victim, looking towards the sky, chasing him down, but he's just running away. Look at this, they're just kiting so perfectly. Pulsar Blue doing everything perfect in this fight. They are bringing them back, but oh my god, the steal is going off by the Young Guns. They got it! They got the flip! This is insanity! No time for Pulsar Blue to bring it back, because they are all dead.
I honestly, maybe 200 IQ play. We don't know. You know, Young Guns are here to have some fun, but maybe they were able to get them to kite so much and go so chaotic to try to stay alive that they ended up spreading them out a little bit too far, and Young Guns was able to capitalize and get in there and steal that one, putting themselves in the second position as we move on to Vault 5 and 6.
Yeah, we're just still trying to figure out what just happened there, because that was amazing kiting followed by an amazing steal, and just, yeah, amazing is the name of the game today. The vaults have been tapped. It looks like Envy is going to control this. They've got 33k to their name already. A minute and a half left. Stu spots one of them out already from Pulsar Blue, bringing Sparrow down. And look at this, the overhead view as well, bringing Sparrow down, and that's a great entry kill. He did expose himself a little bit, but the rest of his teammates are there. They're ready to dive on the rest of Pulsar Blue. They're getting some shots, but I think that they're able to maybe get away a little bit.
Oh, maybe not, Stu. Hunting down Pulsar Blue. Only 2 of them left. It's Stu, leave them alone, man. They're gone. They left. It's okay. Like, Stu is on a hunting spree right now, but it is still a good play because it does force Pulsar Blue to get out of there. And it's looking like at this point, if Pulsar Blue is doing exactly what I expect them to do, they are going to go for that third party. A lot of damage already going down, both on Young Guns and Diminish. Every one of them is almost down to 50% or less. They are just slowly getting taken down as Tiger is just popping shots. No bullets left in the chamber, though. And just taken out like that. But Cafaneo doing a good job eliminating the last bit and then, unfortunately, getting eliminated just like that. So now Pulsar Blue came in late on the rotation. He's taking advantage on that as Young Guns had to rotate away, get all their players back up. It's all going to come down to how they're going to answer this one. They're going to, you see Boo Boo looking to try to open it up, make it a little bit harder for anyone to find any defensive position. And it looks like we do have Young Guns starting to make their move. They're a little bit spread out, but they're all splitting up to try to collapse onto Pulsar. But it's not really working in their favor as Pulsar is still able to get their players back up. Tiger's last one alive.
Yeah, this is all getting chaotic as the shots are going off. The BFR did not hit hard enough. All of Pulsar Blue have been wiped. Diminish are making their approach. Everybody's dying left and right. The Young Guns left and just Ruby Lububu. The steal is going off. I think that they're going to be able to get it. Belize is in there. The ceiling is collapsing around them. They have it. They're in control. They just need to hold on and they'll be in second place. They've got 15 seconds left. Another steal is being attempted, but they've got the shots. They're able to pull him off, and I think that they have done it in just enough time. Somehow Diminish swooped their way in there, got the steal, and got away with it at the very end, and got in second. And we're not even talking about Envy with their 57, because this is the play for second.
Yeah, I mean, Envy, like, listen, I know when you play matchmaking, when you're playing ranked, when you're playing World Tour, sometimes you play the briefing game, you try to force certain players, and Envy is already trying to play the big brain game and start to force certain teams to fall down into lower points and really, you know, set up their story moving forward. But Cafaneo, 11 kills, 10 deaths though. That's one of those things where it's like you were getting kills, but you're trading, and that's where it gets a little bit rough for your team. You do see the damage that came out of Cafaneo, but the capitalization wasn't 100% there until the end. They were still able to make it work out as they were able to get that last second steal. So I want to see that Cafaneo, but with the rest of the team coordinated enough to potentially put Envy on the back foot.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that it just seemed to be a little bit of a lack of coordination from their side, because it seemed like every time that they were getting into engagement, Cafaneo was popping off, but Belize and the rest of his teammates just were nowhere to be found. So maybe he's a little bit overextending himself, but he's going for those fights and they're popping off, but that's just not the team play that you really need at this level of gameplay. But that's really not to take away, because they did get second. They did play really well. They got that last second steal, and I do love it as well as when the team is going in there and then just everything crumbles around them. We saw the rooftop just come down, and then it just made everything just so much more chaotic, and it really leaves it up in the air. It's like, did they get the steal? Did they not? But yeah, we are talking a lot about second place. Let's talk a little bit about first place. Envy, what's going on here? What are they doing that's making them such a force in this arena?
Envy is just constantly doing a good job being a nuisance when they need to be. And honestly, it's I'm gonna say it. It is just pure skill. They are
Really?
they're outslaying. They're not losing their fights. Whenever there's a moment where you see a player about to die, the rest of the team shows up and cleans them up. They do such a good job rotating around each other that they don't have to worry about it. But we'll have to see how Envy does with the rest of the teams as we move on to our third map, which will be Sis Horizon. Again, most competitive map, as you like to claim. I do agree with you. It is one of those. I feel like it's a very, very balanced map. You're going to have essentially the same type of combat happening no matter where you are, unless you're out in that courtyard area with the fountain and the ball. I hate that area. Don't ever go there.
That's been fixed. That's been adjusted.
I know, thankfully. But it was just like, unfortunately, the scars and the PTSD has already been ensued. We're closing in on the 2-year mark of finals, and 1 year along, it was long enough for me to feel the pain.
I completely understand it. Yeah, Sis Horizon has been interesting, and it has been kind of that map for that reason. The teams really started to like it back in the day because there were no variants for it, and back before we couldn't select the variant that we want, which nowadays we select none. Yeah, it's just a very unique map. You can see too, and this is the part that we were talking about as we started the flyover. There's more cubes. There's more little cover. It's a little bit of a better area, at least in my game. They have been better. So, Vault 1 about to be tapped by Pulsar Blue, but if they can hold off the intruding force of the rest of the teams. Oh, there's a CL40? Sorry, I got excited.
I was letting you have your moment, honestly. Yeah, the CL40 comes into the game, and it's looking pretty good so far. And it's looking like Young Guns will finally get the touch on that one. The other one, though, still big fight happening between Envy and Diminished. And Envy kind of playing on the back foot right now.
Yeah, this is interesting because we immediately move over and Busy was just getting deleted in that fight, and now it looks like it's all down to Stu. Not sure what is going on. He does dash away, does control the vault, so this will make it a little bit in their favor, but now he has to play the waiting game. His teammates have 18 seconds before they come back in, at least STN does, and that will just make this for a very weird battle. And what's going on? Are we about to see a double? Oh boy, I am all for it.
I mean, it's not the worst call. It's not the worst call, especially because Envy has, already has a player down. It's going to take him a while to set it up. The scary part is now you know Envy is going to be in your fight. You don't have a choice to try to dodge them. They're going to be coming in there. I know I'm gaslighting so much and talking and hyping up Envy, but like, they do the work. They give me the reason to talk like that. And talking about something interesting, GL in the play, Tiger, is just going to make it annoying and just explode everything.
I literally told Ruby yesterday that if anybody runs it, they'll be my best friend forever. So, Tiger, you're going to DM after this. But I love to see it. It is a very useful weapon, I think, and he's running it with mines as well. So, if he can get some kills, if he can make anything happen with it, it will be very impressive. But moving over now, as everybody wants a piece of this cash out. There is a lot of money on the line. It is ticking down. We're more than halfway there. Right now, Diminish are controlling it, but when you have 4 teams all fighting for a slice or a piece of the pie, it is not going to look very good at the end. Can they control it? That is the question. They're randomized.
Well, the scary part is the fact that every team is kind of spread out a little bit. Not like team-wise, single team spread out. And just all the teams kind of all pick their corners. And I was about to say, I thought Stu was about to walk in and get a free grab. But it doesn't work out that way. Still, in the hands of Diminished, the players are kind of flipping in and out of this gateway, just popping in and out, and they're all just jumping around it. And I think it's going to be safe to say that Diminished will be the ones to take this one, but Envy is on top of it. Not going to matter. They're taken out. 2 of them are taken out of there. Stu is the last one to be alive. And Cafaneo doing a really good job with the rest of his team to put some damage down and make sure that Diminished is going to walk away with some nice moolah.
Yeah, this is the way to do it. If you want to find a way to break the shield of Envy, it's double. It's make sure that they have to sweat. They got to fight for it. If they want it, they got to fight off 3 other teams. And you know what? This might be the strategy we see going forward. And Pulsar Blue making their approach towards vault number 4. They do get the tap on it. And they get the tap on it, and they are ready to go. Vault 3 on the other side of things has been spawned, and it looks like Envy might get there first if the Young Guns do have something to say about it.
Speaking of Young Guns, they're going to be going up against Envy now. Doing a good job kind of spreading it out a little bit, forcing Busy to look around in every direction. And just as I say that, speaking of looking in every direction, Diminish also jumps in there and starts to put a little bit of a fight. So now Diminish are the ones up on top. Ruby and Labubu trying his best to stay alive as well as possible. And it's working out pretty well, rotating around the teammates. Unfortunately, Tiger goes down. But still, everyone is still within vicinity of putting enough damage around. We do see that the vault is moving. And just like that, just in time, Ruby Labubu was able to take out Stu, but Bubba on the other side is going to take him out. Police is getting eliminated by Honor, doing a really good job there. And now Honor, last one alive. It is their cash out. And he is kind of, I guess, trying to figure out a way of how they're going to move in. Spotting the Diminished team. But at this point, unfortunately, he's not really going to be able to push in there to stop the steal. But still, have plenty of time, about 1.5 minutes left of the clock to get back and get a take back.
Yeah, and all of his teammates are back now, so we're going to see a direct approach Diminish here as well. They want to try and hold on to this if they can. Cash out is about 1/3 of the way done. Lots of time left. I'm very curious if they're going to be able to hold on to it. This is the courtyard area we were talking about earlier. A little bit more of an area to kind of fight in, but there it goes. Charge and slam going off by Ruby. He's following up with that KS, trying to stay alive. Barricades going down. Amazing movement, getting healed right back up by Honor. This is still a battle. They're trying to delete anybody from the Diminished team. They're diving in there. Cafaneo did get res. This is a perfect one shot for the KS-23, though. Can he connect it? They have all run away.
Envy.
Oh man, he couldn't find him, and just like that, everyone's back up and ready to fight again for this one. It could have potentially been a one-sided match, but both teams did a really good job of constantly being able to poke and prod where they needed to. And as I say that, Bubba is the first one to get taken out, and then Boo Boo on the other side, try to cast these two names back and forth.
Yeah, right.
Are fighting for it. Now, Belize, last one alive, has to take on two players. Can't seem to make it work for him, and Honor is going to run back, still get that steal. Bubba is going to be trying to run in as quick as he can to maybe stop it, but I don't think there's enough time, unfortunately, for Bubba. So now it's probably either just to see if he can get Honor out of here or get a res, something of the two.
Yeah, and I guess not. This is a good position for them. They've got the cash, and honestly, they're sitting in first. The Young Guns, and it's all because of the CL40. Nobody knows what to do with it. That's definitely the reason me as an analyst is noticing it and nothing else. So, moving on, not Bubba gets out of there. He's gonna wait for his teammate to coin back in, potentially. Cafaneo only has one coin, so it's a little bit of a risky one. They do go for the coin. That is an interesting play as Diminish Belize takes a little bit of damage. On the other side of things, Pulsar Blue about to move this vault over towards the cash out. We are down to the last 2 minutes, and they get direct engagement. Belize brings Servati down. The red barrels are going off. He can't get a second one, and Belize goes down.
That was almost an insanely good play, trying to get that red barrel down. Well, Pulsar Blue over on the other side, about to get eliminated. Servati trying to fight for his life, and just like that, Boo Boo was able to find him, take him out. But it's Cafaneo who's going to be moving this one, gets spotted as he tries to move this one out of here, and now he's kind of stuck. He's got to be careful because you do have the sights aimed down on you, and that is Envy staring you down. Pulsar eliminated out of this one, and Tiger taking some damage. A lot of spread out happening at the moment. Every player just has about one player stranded and one player trying their best to keep everybody alive. And it looks like Cafaneo is going to try to get Diminished back up on their feet, while everyone else is maybe looking to double this one up. Again, Honor looking to bring the chaos. It is currently Envy's box, but is this the call, Rio?
It's a call, that's for sure. As it looks like it looks like they just gave Envy first place again. I think Envy has ultimate height. They're set up, and basically anybody that makes this approach without bringing them down is going to suffer drastically. And now we are running down. We've got about 30 seconds left, and nothing is changing. This seems like Envy is about to take it again. Maybe we'll see the Young Guns hold on to second, but here we go. Everybody is here at the point. Time is ticking down. A steal is being attempted. Deaths are going off left and right. Glitches are going off. Can they hold on? Is the flip about to happen? This is intense, but no! He gets off at the last second. There might be a chance for him to hold on, but the C4 blows it up and secures Envy, getting 56K, but the Young Guns make it into second.
Even in the chat, W double. Oh god, that's hard. You know what? So interesting enough, I come from the world of Trackmania, where you play a four-way free-for-all, and you try to get as many points as you can. And once you get the point limit, which is 120 normally, you go into finalists, and then you have to win, and then you're out of the way. Sometimes you have such a dominating team or a dominating player that everyone does have to play for that second place. Maybe that was the strat. Allow the first place team to just get really up there, and then just make sure that everyone else stays below you, and you just kind of ride the coattail of the first place team. That could be it.
I'm honestly enjoying the chat right now.
Yeah,
they're being very cordial and being very non-standard finals, we should say. But I'm all for it. They're kind of enjoying it, and yeah, I mean, all of these people know each other. They scrim and they play all the time. But the Young Guns are a little bit of a unknown. They weren't in PHL. This is a Sledge main coming in there, KS23 main, and we saw the CL40. My like dream that I genuinely never thought would happen has happened today on a random Wednesday. So, can it get any better than that for season 2 of the PHL? But yeah,
It's a holiday for you, Rio. You got to remember
is.
this. October 8th. Write it down. It's the day of the CL.
Day of the CL. Yeah, and like I said, I think I have a new best friend. So it'll be. I've actually never messaged Tiger before. I messaged a lot of the players, and it'll be a very good introduction. But with that said, we've talked a lot about these teams, and we do have 2 more maps. I can't
Two
recall.
more maps. 2 more maps.
2 more maps. We've
But,
done a lot of maps today, and we will be bringing everybody to Vegas next.
You know,
Thoughts?
speaking of the CL coming out, something you never thought would happen. Maybe it's your day to play the lottery. We are going to gamble over at Vegas right now, and again, it's a much more spread out map. Actually, funny enough, I've said this time and time again, CL is actually a pretty good map for Vegas. I've had people argue against me about that, but I have said once you're inside some of the casinos, the CL could do so much damage. It's ridiculous how much you can really control the scene, blow up different walls, and start to force players to move in directions that you want them to. I mean, there's kiting, but what about pushing the players away? And the CL can do that. So we'll see if he brings it back in here into Vegas.
Well, from my perspective, in 1,000 hours on the CL40, there is no bad map for it, just bad players. But that's a topic for another day, as we have loaded in to Las Vegas. The vaults have spawned. The teams are making their approach. Will we finally see Envy fall from first place? That's what we're rooting for. That's what we're hoping for. Somebody knock him down a little bit.
I don't know, man. 3 maps in a row. Envy has just been showing what they can do, the damage they can ensue. So now it's going to come down again. Do we mess with Envy, or do we try to mess with the other teams? Is the question of the day. Unfortunately, for Diminish, they're the ones that are going to have to take on Envy at the beginning here. But Tiger really starting to put some damage down onto Pulsar Blue, and then getting damaged back. The players are a little bit separated, but they are kind of working it out. Some of the damage is coming out, and somehow, even with all of the spread out going on, Young Guns are still alive, and they got everyone out of there. And hello, Envy. Welcome to the party. And just like that, Busy takes one down and then gets taken down himself. But the rest of his team is starting to show up. STN and Stu both looking to put some damage down as they are able to take down Tiger. Brings back Busy, and the last one alive, Honor. Unfortunately, just like that, they turn it around. Envy they're just being that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to say that was a really good fight, though. The Young Guns at several points, I thought that they might have it. And it looks like right now, all of Pulsar Blue have made their way towards Cash Out A. So they are about to run directly into each other, Envy and Pulsar. But maybe they were able to get in there without getting caught. I'm not really sure what just happened, as Stooge looks like he took a little bit of damage there. Busy taking some damage as well. STN very far away from the rest of his teammates, but maybe this is intentional, trying to find a little bit of the back area of them, find any mistake that they can on Pulsar Blue. The shots are going off. There goes Boo Boo, Busy chasing him in. It is in each other's faces. And there goes all of Pulsar Blue.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about them anymore. Young Guns and Diminished on the other side. Battling it out here as well for B. Steel coming in. Nice RPG coming out from Police. Police is looking to try to play some good defense. He's constantly making sure that he's putting explosions down on to the cash out, not really jumping in there. Smart plays by Police, playing this one slow. You don't want to have to put yourself in an awkward position, especially when you're the last one on the team. Cafaneo just spawning. And now Belize is getting pressured on. And that's going to allow the rest of Young Guns to go in there and try to go for the steal. Belize gets picked on and killed at the bottom of the building. And Young Guns is going to look to try to steal this one. Cafaneo tried to rush in there and gets taken out as well. So now Bubba is on their own, and it's unfortunate on the timing of the rotation of spawns. Just puts them in this awkward position now. So Diminished, who looked like they were potentially going to be able to take that one, is now fighting on the back foot. Sparrow doing some pretty good job putting damage down, keeping himself distant from the rest of Envy, and that's exactly what you're going to need to do, especially because all 3 players are really good at closing in on a position very quickly. And now Sparrow trying his best to stay alive up against Stu, but Stu will just not miss any of those shots.
Yeah, Pulsar Blue just seem to be fumbling this right now. They really haven't gotten any team wipes. They've got $1,300 to their name. They need to find something, and they need to change it right now. This is not looking good for them. On the other side of things, Cafaneo getting healed or healing his teammates back up, trying to find some shots off, but Ruby Labubu throws down that RPG and chases him down. Sadly, couldn't go up against Melissa's SA shotgun. Now Tiger going down as well, and Ruby not looking good as he got spawned right back in there. And some friendly banter going on by the friendly Belize as we move our attention towards Cash Out D, which is in control by Envy. And I don't see anybody near them. Are they going to go for a push? This might be diminished. There they go.
Okay, let's see what happens. I mean, right now, Diminish, unfortunately, as they're going to try to make a push onto D, potentially, is getting pushed on by Pulsar Blue, who's looking to try to take that Vault 4. They got to be careful with this one because there is Envy just lurking on behind. They're going to try to disable any explosives on the device, get rid of anything if they can. There it is. They do get rid of it. And now they're, I think... Wait, the police missed
It was
it?
a failed winch. Yeah, it was a failed winch by Belize. They had the bounce pad and they were ready to pull that away, which didn't work.
No, and Envy looking to back up a little bit. Wait for the steal attempt. About a minute left on Cash Out D. And again, Envy is just not playing anything yet. They are not showing their hand. They're waiting for the right moment. But speaking of the right moment, Belize was the first one to wench, but then got wenched back. Somehow it's still back and forth between the two of them. He's able to get Busy down with a teammate. Busy's back up again on his feet, and it looks like Envy is now running away, trying to play their life, somehow still alive as Belize and Cafaneo are by themselves 2v2. Not really working out for either team, still no defined moments, and just like that, even though Belize looked like he had the upper hand, Busy turned around, was still able to pop him one time and get him out of there. Ooh, missed that one, but it's going to work out either way. Diminish is going to get all of them up. But it's more than likely going to be a cash out going towards Envy.
I don't even think Envy's been wiped yet this entire move. I just think everybody is just playing around them. They know how to play their life. A steal is being attempted, but I don't think they got on it in time. And even if they did, look who's here. All of Envy ready to stop the fun by Diminish. There are kills going off, and there they go down. On the other side of things, a steal is being attempted. Cash Out C in control by the Young Guns, and it looks like they got Honor. The Pure just got a 3K. Just got a 3K. As I was figuring out what was happening, he just deletes everybody. So Honor the Pure 12 kills. I'm speechless.
Oh my
And
god.
STN hasn't died.
STN hasn't died. Honor has 12 kills. And, I mean, you could just tell. As soon as players start to come out and start to teabag, you know there's a little bit of tilt. You know that both Diminished and Pulsar are pissed off at Young Guns for the move they made in that last map, and Young Guns are taking advantage of it. They are in good headspace, and it's looking like Diminish and Pulsar Blue are both playing potentially a little bit tilted.
Yeah, a little bit tilted indeed. This is definitely the match of the tilt. Oh, as Cafaneo gets some shots off, but just not enough to get the kill. He does spot the rest of them out there, fitting some shots off, but immediately diving onto Cash Out A. He healing up his teammates, did not miss a single one of those infuser shots. That's going to be perfect for them to get in there. Belize got a nice little roof above him of goo, and everybody is off this point. They're able to get the steal pretty much uncontested. The fight is going off now, healing beams and infusers going off left and right. Sparrow making their approach. They are right next to Cash Out A, trying to blow up the ceiling, find any opening that he can. This is a perfect little spot for him as he's made his way to the rooftop. He does spot one of them out, brings Cafaneo down. Can he get Belize? He does get Belize down. This is the opportunity for Pulsar Blue to dive in there. There's still C4 on the point, but with Belize down, it's not going to do much because all of Diminish got deleted in that fight.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I know sometimes in the midst of competition, you get excited, you get hyped up, you start moving quickly, and then your brain starts to turn off, and you start to make bad decisions. And unfortunately, even though your teammate was, potentially fighting it, just how did he see him?
I don't know.
I wasn't like thinking about it until I looked up and I realized who was the one that died, and I was like, wait a minute, he was ammoed. Wow, that's some eagle eye action right there. But yeah, no, it's just so much chaos that I feel like the players are putting on themselves at this moment. They need to hone in and really focus on their shots, on who they're fighting with, and take them down together. Like this right here, Sparrow was able to lock in, but unfortunately his teammates, I think, jumped in front of him and blocked his shots, so no one was able to actually capitalize on the kill. But now it's working out for them. They are able to take out Diminish, but right as that happens, it looks like Young Guns are going to come in and take advantage, even though Pulsar is going to be able to walk away with that cash at the last second.
Yeah, Pulsar Blue coming in second by just a little bit. Looks like the Young Guns didn't get enough kills there, unfortunately. But boy, Envy still on top. This is impressive. I don't know if we've had a run like this. Oh god, the chat.
4 maps. 4 maps.
Yeah.
Hunter, 15 kills, man. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
15 kills.
I mean, it's just one of those moments where you look at the score and you try to make some sense out of it, going like, your teammates popping off, you're playing amazingly, but your team is struggling to keep up with you and actually do what you need to get done, which is the objective. Again, you can have as many kills as you want, but unfortunately, they're only $500 a kill. Where a cash out starts off, put it in, you get 2,000. Keep it, you get 8,000. So kills aren't going to matter if your team can't work together and actually do what needs to get done.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and that's kind of what the scramble that we're seeing right now. And it's all on the like the biggest story too is that Envy has made it 4 maps. Like 4 maps. They have the potential of doing a sweep of Group A, which will be impressive. It will really show kind of what a team Envy is. But I think that this puts the pressure on all 3 teams that are in the lobby to not let that happen. Do something different. Make it where Envy is not coming in first, just to change things up. Like, you can't let them have this victory. This will give them the confidence for the rest of the playdays.
Now, I'm curious, Rio, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that if NV does win this, this will be the first time PHL history where a team gets full sweep. Or did we get some 5P pluses? Unfortunately, I was only there for one play day last season. I was a little bit busier, so I wasn't able to keep up with it. But still, we can say that Envy is about to, as you said, pretty much, set in stone. This is who we are here in Season 2.
Without a doubt. I think that they are a very strong team, but are they the strongest? I don't know, but a 5P will be pretty amazing if they're able to pull it off. Vault 1 over here, and the teams are primed. Pulsar Blue ready to dive on top of the Young Guns. Nobody's gone for the Vault yet. There is the tap, though, and they're ready to look for anybody that comes into their crosshairs. Everybody's on this rooftop. It's a little bit scrambled. It's a little bit chaotic. No shots connecting just yet, but they are all very aware of each other.
The good movements coming out of Pulsar to constantly still stay alive. Get in that wench, but can you capitalize on it? You gotta get those shots going, and he does, getting Tiger out of the picture. And now, Savati trying to choose who his next target is. It's gonna be Honor, and looking to close that one out. It's not a full-on 3K, but still Pulsar swinging out, coming out of the gate swinging pretty dang well. Now Diminish on the other side. I love that play. Putting the bubble onto the bounce pad, send it up there for some protection, and Cafaneo doing some really good damage. Unfortunately, couldn't clean that one. And if I believe correctly, Cafaneo actually made a weapon switch.
Yeah, and honestly, cash out B over there, it's such a height advantage. You've got crazy sight lines. I just wouldn't go against it. I know that I spent the whole last bit before this map started saying, like, bring down Envy, but oh man, that is one of the hardest points to push, and you saw exactly why. All of Diminish just went down immediately, and they're going to really have to change things up, because I think if I'm them, I would go for cash out A. We are seeing now as Ruby Labubu rocking the KS-23 is starting his approach. He did mention to us the other day that he likes the KS-23 for its destruction abilities, and that's what we're seeing right now. Just 2 shots from each wall brings that ceiling down. It is a great weapon and I think completely underutilized, but this is a great spot as well. He's put up these barricades. He's got a little bit of a spot. Unfortunately, Pulsar Blue runs in there and stops his fun. The engagement kicks off though. Ruby gets 1 shot up, tries to find another. Everybody is dashing and dipping all around here. Somehow he's staying alive. It's all on Tiger. He does bring back Honor, but really this is a tight spot for them to be in, as all of them are right on top. All of Pulsar are right on top of them. And there goes 1. They need to stay in this Tiger, the last person remaining, and not looking good for him as finally he goes down and Pulsar Blue maintain control.
I just love how Boo Boo just ignored the fight to get the res real quick. Excuse me, pardon me. I have to get my friend over here. But yeah, almost the big brain play coming out, but unfortunately just can't capitalize it as a team. And now we see Diminish here is going to be making their move onto Pulsar Blue, trying to stop any more explosive with a glitch grenade. But they are all at the bottom. No one is protecting from the top as they're going to potentially try to go for the steal, but Servati is right there, ready to make things work. Belize is the only one up on the next floor, not really having any backup, as it's not looking good. Every player is getting picked off one by one. Somehow, Booba was able to stay alive. Cafaneo trying to take on Sparrow, but gets eliminated just like that, and the rest is Diminish eliminated. I mean, oh man, it's not looking good for Diminish if that's what's going to be happening. Bye, Honor.
Yep. Into the void with you. Fall into its loving, warm embrace as the rest of the teams are bouncing around, going towards vault number 4. Pulsar Blue still looking good, but oh no, Boo Boo just gets on the receiving end of that repeater, goes down, and Servati took a lot of damage as well. This is a great map for the repeater. The sight lines are perfect for it, and look at this. Somehow Envy has the vault. They seem uncontested. They're making their way towards C. They will likely get this plug. Potentially, I saw Pulsar Blue in chase, but time will tell. What's that?
I don't know if you noticed, but if you see in the top left corner, there is still a $0 bill.
Oh,
no kills from Diminish so far. Oh.
Yeah. That's
Well,
diminishing my hopes for
put
them,
some money.
but
Aha,
here we go.
Haha! Just as I mentioned that, Booba's like, hold up, I got you. Puts a 500 up on the board, and then the team wipe. 425. Thank you for the $75. Appreciate it. Your taxes will be collected as they are getting eliminated. And now it's coming down to Young Guns and to see if maybe they could make some moves into this one, as they're going to be moving up against Pulsar Blue. But Pulsar already in a great position, putting a lot of pressure onto Young Guns as they are trying to move in. Little bit spread out though. Honor hunting down one player while his team is literally looking to push in. So he's got to be careful with that. It ends up working out where the teams just rotate around each other in the building. Spotting really quickly. Honor notices that people are flying up into the air, doing a really good job putting some damage on them and forcing them to kind of get awkward. And now it looks like he's going to potentially look to repeat the play himself. And the steal, maybe? No, Goose, come on out. Honor above the players, looking to put some damage down. Can he close it out? No, not able to finish that one out. Everyone's starting to heal each other up again. Both players just putting damage down, but no one capitalizing on each other as we are getting closer and closer to Pulsar being able to take this cash out.
Yeah, this is getting quite interesting as both teams have 20K to their name. Honor the Pure staying in this. Young Guns need to make their approach. The steal is going off by Ruby, but the fire burns up all of the goo, forcing him off of that. He does put up his barricade and buys him a little bit of time, but this cash out is running down. Honor very low. Tiger not in here and is all on them. They need to run in there. Pulsar Blue taking some damage off to the left side. He needs to make the approach right now. We are running this out of time. Needing to find something. He gets one shot off on Sparrow. Needs to find the next one. This is it. He's got to hold it, but it's not looking good as he gets winched out of there. And Pulsar Blue will take this. Heartbreaking for Young Guns.
He tried to play that one slow and steady, and unfortunately did not work out in their favor. But Honor is going to look to try to clean it up and wipe Pulsar Blue, so it's going to force them to lose a little bit of money, but it's really not going to be any much of a difference right now. Diminish and Young Guns are just getting decimated by Pulsar Blue and Envy.
Yeah, decimated is a great way of putting it. I can't believe that we have two teams at the top so high and the two teams at the bottom with so low cash scores. This is a very unexpected turn because they were a lot closer in all the other maps, but hey, sometimes that's how everything plays out. We got a minute 45 left on the clock. Vault has been tapped. I'm curious if they are wanting to bring it where they're going to bring it, because B is right there, but everybody from the Young Guns is in their way, and potentially Pulsar Blue. Everybody's going to want to get the plug, get as many advantages as they can, but boy, are we going to see a double as well?
I don't know. Well, maybe see it. I mean, at this point, though, you really do want to get those points. If you can at least snag one first place and put 100 points up on the board, that'd be great. Police, though, he goes, all right, you know what? If Young Guns are going to do it, I'm going to do it. He literally hands... Nope, Stu is like, go the other way. I want to have a little bit more fun. Sends the Volt away. Police standing there in awe as his gift was denied and sent away.
Oh, it's so far.
Oh, the BM is incredible this match. It's just amazing. I really thought maybe Pulsar Blue would try to potentially fight for that first place, but instead, I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know what to call this anymore.
Yeah, no, this is, I think you called it. It's the one team just dominating all the others. But there's the plug, finally. Police gets it in. No double. This is good, so it might make things a little more interesting because I don't think anybody's going to go against Envy. All of the action should be happening right here. We're coming down to the last minute. Cafaneo trying to get his teammate Rez back up. Nice use of the smoke as well, buying himself just a mystical little area, rezzing his teammate. And now they just have to hold on. Cash out is already a fourth of the way done. Time ticking down. Envy over there, sipping on mojitos. Not really worried too much.
Yeah, no, not really worrying. I mean, this is going to be very important. Not only does Diminish want to close this one out and get this cash, they need to also get the kills, especially onto Pulsar. What the heck just happened? Especially Pulsar Blue, as Pulsar is currently in the lead. So they're going to need some kills and maybe a little bit of wipes on them. Well, Pulsar Blue not really showing too much face at the moment. It's going to end up possibly working out in their favor. But if Diminish can put some damage down, maybe take out Young Guns a couple times as they keep rezzing, giving some more points, it could work out in their favor. But they got to start getting more kills as quickly as they can to try to jump on over. And it looks like Pulsar Blue is there to slow things down. Cafaneo blows up the cash out. And Envy decides to show up and have some fun with it, but it doesn't work out. Diminish still walks away with the third place points.
Oh, man, that was just heartbreaking. It turned into a kill race at the end, and they just couldn't get the kills at the end. Boy, I'm speechless because I'm supposed to analyze what Envy did right, but it was more they just were left alone. Like they were on their own little island. They probably felt no stress. My production manager is saying aura. That's a great way of putting it. They aura'd themselves to 5 wins. And yeah. Hey, at least they're all being very cordial in chat. GG's, lots of that. Gotta love it. Things can get intense with these teams, but hey, gotta appreciate that they're still being friendly, at least for now. We should probably cut away before anything changes.
Get out of there before anything else happens. I mean, Rio, let's be real. That is the nature of FPSs. You know, if anything, I'm generally surprised how friendly the community really is at the moment, because I've grown up in the world of Halo and Call of Duty, and some of the things they say shall never be said on broadcast.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to somebody the other day. It's kind of like I yearn for the olden days, but also not at all. So anyway, we're here to break down what we just saw, because Group C was, they were a group that had Envy in it.
I literally said it. What did I say? Group A was chaos. Group B was control. And then Group C was domination. I saw Envy in the group, I knew it was going to happen, and it's exactly what happened. Envy walked away, clean sweep. I was corrected that there were other teams that were able to do the clean sweep as well. Team Secret did it over in EU, and now we have Envy over in NA. If anything, seeing matches like this make me more excited for the cross regional matches when they finally get to the majors, just because of the fact that I want to see what everyone is like when ping is not a question.
Yeah, no, that is going to be the ultimate test and really see which side is more dominant. I mean, and I think too, just going further off that point, NA and EU have different play styles, so we'll see a lot more of that. And be sure to continue watching these play days because you are going to see how they play in the Grand Major here a little bit later this year. But to wrap everything up, I believe that we have gone over these teams, we've gone over the matches. If you missed them, you want to see some chaos, go back and watch Group A. You want to see a little bit more of a standard cash out, go CB, and whatever we just saw was Group C. So with all that said, we're going to give one more shout out to our sponsor of today, and that is Crash. Oh, let's take a look at the leaderboard.
Yeah,
We
I was
actually
about to
have
say,
all the
we need
points.
to see the
Yeah,
leaderboard, man.
My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, you're good, man. With the amount of chaos that we watched today, I'm not surprised your brain is scrambled. Mine is definitely scrambled. And speaking of scrambling things, Envy scrambled some eggs and then came out on top. You know, they like the sunny side up because they are up on top with 581 points. I mean, the team not only got a clean sweep, but then also just dominated in kills and just easily just started to snag more and more points through every single match. I mean, does it surprise me? No, but at the same time, you have two teams from Group B in second and third place, and then almost Group A's kind of grouped up together. Nightmare, Kiri, and Space Station all side by side. Unfortunately, task managers a little bit on the lower side.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the points distribution because, the higher teams definitely made it up there, and we can see a few of them struggled quite a lot. Like Luxury, we just never saw them really kick off. So if I was them, I would go back, I would find out what we did wrong and try and go back and, get ready for the next play day because we have more. Yeah, we have more playdays coming up. We have playdays every Saturday, every Wednesday, and we will get more into the 3v3s on the weekends. So there's lots more to come up. And I think we're going to wrap it up here. My name is Rio. I've been joined by Randomize, and all of you wonderful viewers out there, thank you for watching, and definitely come back the next time for our next playdays.